Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, Hunt Palmer of the LSU Sports Radio Network joins us at 7:30. SEC Network analyst Cole Kublik stops by at 9:30, and the Ottfather, Jimmy Ott, stops by at 9:30. You can follow today's show by joining us inside the 104.5 ESPN Huddle, brought to you by Bayou Ford on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch the show live on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Subscribe. Get over to the Off the Bench YouTube channel as well. Subscribe and set your notifications as new content is posted every day. Hour number 1 of OTB starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off the Bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. Online, 104.5ESPN.com. We are on your smart speakers this morning. We're also on YouTube Live. Hit us on the 104.5 ESPN station. We're live there up until 10 a.m. this morning. All of our shows will originate there. Make sure you are subscribed and notified for anything that's happening there, including what's happening on the Off the Bench YouTube station. Any highlights like today's Hunt Palmer, 7:30 this morning. I'm sure Hunt will be talking about the Chicago Cubs. We'll also talk college football with Hunt. Cole Kublik, City Cafe, came through on the hot wings.
Are you nervous? Is that what this? I'm getting like a little bit of like trepidation. Are you good? You excited for the wings?
I mean, I'm not excited, but I'm not nervous.
Okay. Just checking in. Just trying to see where your head's at. But shout out City Cafe. We have some sweet habanero barbecue wings that are quite hot. Test them out last night, Jordy. I think you're gonna be good here. There's some creepers, which I'm sure you're all too aware how that works, right? You eat them, you're chilling, you think you're all good, and then it kind of hits you, and it just continues to escalate, and you can get in a bad spot really quick. But
how about creeping?
Yeah, we will eat these wings though, while doing our Casual Friday tier list. It is Casual Friday. And we are going this Friday. We are going to try to rank from S, which is the top, S, A, B, C, D, all of the Golden Age, unanimous / consensus All-Americans. So I define the LSU Golden Age for football as the year 2000 on, obviously, when you look at all the championships, national and SEC, that you've won in that period. And so these are names like Josh Reed, Chad Lavallee, Marcus Spears, Ben Wilkerson, LaRon Landry, Glenn Dorsey, Craig Selch, Josh Jasper, Pat P., Mo Claiborne, Tyron Matthew, Eric Reed, Leonard Fournette, Trey White, Grant Delpit, Devin White, Greedy Williams, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Derek Stingley Jr. We're going to try to rank the best and see who comes out on top.
Pelican season's over. Here are the latest inside your headlines, Friday, August 14th.
Headlines on Off the Bench.
NCAA President Mark Emmert said on Thursday there will not be fall NCAA championships because there are not enough schools participating due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, a decision that affects 22 championships, including FCS football. The Board of Governors are also established that if you don't have half of the schools playing a sport, you can't have a legitimate championship, said Emmert. The number of schools fell below 50% on Wednesday when the Big East announced its fall sports would not be played. College football playoffs said that they announced on Thursday that they are preparing for the 2020 and 2021 football season despite everything going on in the sport.
Yeah, it should be noted that the college football playoff and the FBS championship exist independently of the NCAA. So Mark Emmert couldn't cancel him if he wanted to. That said, Jordy, he did in the Board of Governors meeting, they established this rule last week that you have to have at least 50% of the sport playing in order to have a fall championship, right? It's the reason he cited why a lot of these got canceled. And it also highlights why the Big 12's decision to postpone and to stay the course for now was so critical, because it kept you over that 50% mark.
NBA last night, the New Orleans Pelicans, the Orlando Magic tuned up for the postseason by beating the Pelicans 133-127, and they snapped a 5-game skid, did Orlando. Both teams were missing many of their top players in a regular season finale that carried no playoff implications. Orlando was locked into the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. They'll face Milwaukee in the first round of the playoffs beginning on Tuesday. New Orleans already was out of the playoff contention. So its season ended last night. New Orleans, Frank Jackson did have 31 points.
Ironically, this game was actually quite a bit more fun to watch than a lot of Pelicans games have been. They did get down big at a couple points, but they fought back. But basically, you just had a bunch of young guys who were trying to put their best foot forward, not just for the Pelicans, but for the entire league. And so I think you actually saw a team play harder last night than you had probably seen the Pelicans play in this entire bubble. And I came out of it feeling pretty good about Frank Jackson. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to be a problem. He is going to be an animal. His ability to get to the basket, his length. I don't know if it's just him wearing 0. I am getting major Westbrook vibes from him. Not that he is even close to that level, but in terms of just a player that he kind of reminds me of. I think Rusty is right there. So like with him and Jackson Hayes, yeah, I remain excited about a lot of these young guys.
29 points last night for Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a career high for the rookie. We mentioned Frank Jackson's 31. That was a career high for the second-year player. Josh Hart had 23, 14, and 6 last night.
Speaking of playing hard.
While Jackson Hayes scored 13 points. New Orleans native DJ Augustine had 22 points for the Orlando Magic. Alvin Gentry.
Let me run that back. Speaking of playing hard. Okay, now you can continue.
Alvin Gentry in the postgame swore that defense would never let the Pelicans down again.
What?
Well, I think the main thing is that we talked about the fact that everything's got to be a learning situation. I thought they competed at a real high level. Once again, I think our defense let us down. We got to get back defensively to where we were before the hiatus started, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, we were in the top 11 in the league then defensively, and we just got to get back to that situation right there, and we will. We got a bunch of great veteran guys, and we got some young guys that want to learn, so we'll find a way to get back there.
Pelicans post-game press conferences for me just cause like an eternal Swaggy P meme reaction. I'm just so confused. Some of these quotes that are here, like, huh? Like, I get what Alvin's saying, right? He is, and it sounds crazy to us because we don't think that he'll be the coach next year, and he is talking like he will be. But, yeah, I mean, that sounds like a coach who thinks there's more basketball to be played. The season's over. The time to figure out the defensive struggles was a couple of weeks ago.
Media availability for the New Orleans Saints on Thursday. Head coach Sean Payton and veteran tight end Jared Cook both speaking. Here was Cook talking about his relationship with Drew Brees going into the second season playing together.
That's when you want to click, right? So you want to play your best ball in November going into December, especially when you're trying to get into the playoffs. And that's when we really needed it. And I feel like me and Drew just had that time to connect, that time to work, and that time to understand each other. After that bye week is when we really had to step it up from me and Drew's perspective, because I missed the 2 weeks before the bye week, and he missed those first 5. So coming off of the bye week, we knew we had to really push and catch up with the rest of the guys on the team that had already been playing in those games. So it's just continually to work on that and work through that.
And look, there's it's not coincidental that the rise of Jared Cook and Drew Brees' chemistry perfectly mirrored Brees winning that Offensive Player of the Month for December, right? I mean, the potential of this combination, and then you add in Emmanuel Sanders, and you read some of the other things, and here's some of the other things that Jared Cook had to say about Brees and just how he sees defenses. And yeah, I mean, look, the Saints offense, like almost every year, they'll be fighting for that number 1 spot in the league.
Sean Payton yesterday talking about the impact of no preseason here in 2020.
I think we're going to have more padded opportunities because we're not playing games. In other words, in a normal preseason, let's say the game was on Friday, you'd be in pads during the week and then probably taper down Thursday, walk through, play the game Friday. And so without a specific game each week, you're not restricted necessarily to approaching that weekend the same way. Our first weekend coming up here next weekend, we're not playing a game, and so we'll be practicing on a Saturday, on a given Monday. I mean, of course, there's a day off each week, but without having a preseason game, you have a little bit more flexibility to how you lay out your practice.
Yeah, so a lot more inter-squad judgment going to go on. And for these players, it's going to be a bit different as well with all this taking place behind closed doors. We normally camp every single practice. The stands are filled, so we'll just have to rely on whatever information the Saints give us.
Saints back out on the practice field today. Philip Barbary, who is a golfer with LSU Golf, picked up 2 match play wins on Thursday at Bandon Dunes to advance to the quarterfinals of the 120th U.S. Amateur Tournament. So look out for Barbary. I think his round will be streamed today on the NBC stream channel at 5 o'clock Central Time. We mentioned the NBA, the Pelicans finishing up their season last night. Dame Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers hung on to beat Brooklyn last night as Dame had 42 in the 134-133 win over Portland to claim that 8th spot. Damian Lillard hit a three-pointer from half court to help Portland advance, but they also keep the 8-0 Phoenix Suns out of the Western Conference playoffs.
I mean, poor Playboy Marty. Shout out to Devin Booker. Shout out to the Suns. Shout out to Monty Williams, dude.
Yes.
I kind of wish that guy never left. Yeah. But what a heartbreaker. I think Playboy Marty might have said this on Game Time, and we'll have Mincy and Otter on in the third hour today, but he said it'll be the most Phoenix Suns thing possible when they go 8-0 and then don't make it.
Wow.
Because everybody else wins as well. And I thought Blazers Nets was just going to kind of be a rubber stamp affair. But I mean, LeVert had a game-winning shot that would have had all of Phoenix's dreams come true. He just couldn't sink it. But still, shout out to the Suns. Definitely put their best foot forward in this. How about this weird, ironic statistic? The New Orleans Pelicans 7-0'd the 2 teams in the play-in. They swept the Blazers 4-0 in the regular season and the Grizzlies 3-0.
That's about as Pelicans as you can get.
I mean, what the hell, dude?
About as New Orleans Pelicans as you can get.
They 7-0'd the 2 teams in the play-in and still put the worst product on the floor in the bubble.
Those are your headlines. What's trending here on this Friday edition of Off the Bench, where we're powered and driven every single day by All-Star Toyota. All-Star Toyota is conveniently located in Baton Rouge on Goodwood and Airline. They're online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Hunt Palmer, 7:30 this morning. We'll also talk to Cole Kublik. Lots of college football to get to, a tier list for LSU football. We'll look at some consensus All-Americans since 2000, and we got hot wings from our boys over at City Cafe to get to at some point before 10 o'clock. Off the Bench, driven and powered by All-Star Toyota.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Remember, over at Coy's Diesel, they proudly serve Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, and surrounding areas in Louisiana by providing the best in service for light, medium, and heavy-duty diesel trucks. Remember, if you drive a diesel truck and you need service and maintenance today, you can get online to Coy's Diesel right now at coysdiesel.com, where the chat box will pop up and you can schedule your sales call. You can schedule your service call. If you're on the side of the road and you need 24-hour roadside assistance, Coy and the crew can get to you today online, coysdiesel.com.
Coysdiesel.com, coysdiesel.com. C-O-Y-S is how Coy is spelled. As Jordy said, you go check him out in person, or you just go to the website. If you want to shop by part, it doesn't matter what your vehicle is, year, make, model. They got drop-down menus. Find exactly what you're looking for. If you need that roadside assistance, you can go to the website and get it. No matter what time it is, they are there for you for all your diesel vehicle needs. Go to coysdiesel.com.
Off the Bench, hanging with Hester and Hanny. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube page. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat. Find highlights for each show's channel and get notified whenever we go live.
$10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Annis & Bitter. Annis & Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
Tune into a Thursday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. Tonight we're live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar from 6 to 8 p.m. Come down to North Boulevard and say hello, or listen here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Tell them all watch, tell them all watch, tell them all watch, tell them all watch. Get about my way, get about my way. It's here on lock, it's here on lock. We roll with the winners, and if you a winner, then you with the squad. Yeah, yeah. We coming to get it, we coming to get it. You ready or not?
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Cole Kublik from the SEC Network coming up in the 8 o'clock hour today. We will talk college football with Cole, as we've talked college football all week here, and the news continues to flow here on this Friday. Make sure to stay tuned to us if you're watching on YouTube, 104.5 ESPN's YouTube channel. As we said inside headlines, NCAA President Mark Emmert said Thursday there will not be NCAA fall championships because there are not enough schools participating due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. This affects 22 championships, including FCS football. Emmert went on later to state that he has no power of authority over the Power 5 conferences to dictate whether or not they will play. The College Football Playoff Committee came out yesterday and said that they are preparing for the 2020 and 2021 college football season despite everything that is going on in the sport. And somehow,
so what's better, a 7-3 SEC team or a 9-1 Big 12 team?
7-3 SEC team.
Ooh, it's going to be a tough sell, boys. It's going to be a tough sell. I don't know if I can follow you that quite there. I take a 7-3 SEC team over an 8-2 Big 12 team. I guess for me, overcoming a two-loss disparity is just big. And that's fair. There's a lot of context there, right? Yeah, who has lost? If it's LSU and Alabama and like Florida or something, then that's That's acceptable, but still 3 losses is a lot.
Are you talking about as an at-large bid? Because, I mean, I don't think the SEC champion is going to have 3 losses on the season.
No, yeah. I'm talking about for the 4th spot.
For the 4th spot.
Yeah,
Okay,
essentially.
okay.
Because we're going to, I mean, conferences
you're
are
gonna get
obviously
2
going to get
teams.
doubled up, right? Because you're only going to have 3 conferences to choose 4 teams.
I mean, who are we kidding? Can we just get to the finish line and put LSU, Alabama, and Georgia in and get them their 3 bids?
But how's Oklahoma going to get slapped
That's what I was
around?
going to say.
That's
Oklahoma's got to
tradition.
get in there. I mean, at some point, right?
That's fine.
What about, let's see. I mean, Clemson will be in there. Notre Dame? Nah. I mean, I love to get Notre Dame. What's the chances that Notre Dame ends the season at 9-1, right? I mean, they are in the ACC now. Maybe they lose
probably
to
have
Clemson.
an easier schedule now than they.
No, they without a doubt have an easier
they
schedule
do.
now
I don't
than
think
they
you can
did
argue that point.
previously.
Will they have to play Clemson twice?
Yes, that is true. So how
They
the
would.
ACC is going to work this year is the top 2 winning percentages will go to the championship, no divisions. So yeah, that from where we sit today, that feels like almost a guaranteed Notre Dame Clemson doubleheader. And so okay, that becomes interesting. What is an 8-2 or it'd be a 9-2 Notre Dame team whose only 2 losses are to Clemson?
Okay,
like how do you stack that up against even maybe undefeated's always going to get in, but yeah, like a 9-1 or a 10-1 Big 12 team, something along those lines.
I think that would probably carry more weight. It would depend on if that loss came in Norman. If you're the Big 12 team, it would depend on if you're Oklahoma, where that loss came. Would it come against Texas in the rivalry game? I mean, where do you lose that game on the schedule, and where is a loss at Oklahoma on Oklahoma's schedule acceptable? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, where in the discussion is it acceptable? Because I'm okay with Notre Dame playing and getting in 2 fist fights with Clemson and, just losing at the end in a decision. That to me would be more respectful than a lot of the Big 12 football I've watched over the past couple of seasons.
So the Big 12 is essentially the
this
Pac-12 of 2020.
This is what I hope is going on.
Since there's no Pac-12 to make fun of, they are now the Pac-12.
This is what I hope's going on in the College Football Playoff Committee. I
Well,
hope
no,
behind closed doors they're talking about, let's get real.
Oh yeah, they're nailing down conference strengths, right? But then the ACC is without a doubt top to bottom weaker than the Big 12, right?
Sure.
They just have the
That's why I'm
superstars
saying I'm only
up top.
giving and putting any type of weight in my ACC argument with either Clemson or their opponent.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. It'll be fascinating. I mean, hopefully, this all stays the course, and we get to the point where we can have these kind of fun, pointless, subjective playoff debates and yell at each other about who should get in versus who should be out.
Somehow, F. King Alexander found a microphone from Oregon State.
Well, so I was going to say, that was my big takeaway of the story. I didn't realize he had gone on to be the president of Oregon State.
More surprising that he found another job or that Oregon State had hired him. What was the shock there?
I guess it's like one of those things where it makes sense to me when I look when he was president of LSU athletics did well. The school did well, it grew, made money, et cetera, et cetera. So he can point to all of that. It seems like F. King's problems are the same that Joe Oliva's were when he was here, from what I know, which is very little to be clear, that he just didn't get along with people, right? That, maybe he just was at odds with a lot of his base, and this latest comment would speak that as well. Although, also, let's be clear, he is the Oregon State president, meaning he voted to postpone, meaning, of course, he's going to go out of his way to justify his decision.
No doubt. And so what he did say was he was asked about what was going on with the SEC. He was asked directly what the SEC didn't see, and F. King Alexander was quoted in saying, "I think probably reality."
Yeah. So F. King still
get the bleep out of here.
People
Could you
in Baton
imagine?
Rouge,
Could you imagine if Joe Oliva was the athletic director right now? What that meeting would have looked like last Friday for the scheduling? LSU would have probably traveled to Tuscaloosa. They probably had to play Alabama twice. And
Yeah.
then go to Athens and play Georgia.
Wait, we added Alabama?
And then Oliva after, I don't know
them.
what happened. I thought we were in there negotiating. I thought that everybody liked me.
Well, no, that's the thing, though. If he was there, then there would have been no chance you would have added Alabama again because Alabama would have never wanted to add LSU. But you would have almost guaranteed gotten Georgia again. If it wasn't old Scotty Woodward pulling the strings up there, getting you Vanderbilt for a second year in a row somehow. You just played at Vandy, and now you get to go back and play there again.
Worst decade of leadership of all time F. King, Alexander, Joe Oliva, and Les Miles.
You think that's a little hot? I mean, it's hot. I like it. It's bold.
Give me three a little better.
It is interesting. You kind of, when I was doing this tier list, my first pass at it, which we will get to and adjust later in the show, while eating hot wings. The last second hour you're eating hot wings. The last certainly the last Les Miles year, you find yourselves naturally knocking those All-Americans from those teams just because those teams are kind of so frustrating to watch at times. So just your memories of them aren't as positive as as some of the others.
Well, I think what did it worse for the end of the Miles era and those teams was how fast Orgeron and the current LSU group has changed the direction of not only the program but the feeling around it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they may have been winning games, but they were so painful to watch win. I mean, how joyful was it to watch just them play this season? Forget winning the games. I mean, they get on the field, and it's just fun to watch them play. But don't let me go backwards on that stuff.
I mean, think about that, though, y'all. If we really take a step back and look, we made a lot of jokes about LSU quarterback play. We made a lot of jokes about, like, hell freezing over and all these things. But, I mean, LSU finally got incredible quarterback play, better than anyone could have imagined, and looked what the price was. A global pandemic, a shutdown around the world. Like, hell literally froze over, basically, because LSU finally had elite All-American quarterback play.
The only reason why I'm just a bit sensitive to this from a sports angle is because LSU was able to get that 2019 season in.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about that. Would they beat that pandemic by 3 weeks?
Something like that. We rode the wave. I mean, it was probably a month. It was probably a month or two before from the time when it all went down. I mean, we probably started first hearing about it in like February some. But yeah, in the midst of celebrating that natty, man. Crazy.
All right, we're going to get to we got a tier list. Speaking of golden age of LSU football, you're still riding the wave of it, and it looks like you're catching a second wind actually here in 2020. But we'll go through the unanimous and consensus All-American since then, and the list is very impressive when you start going down some of the names from Trey White, Patrick Peterson, Mo Claiborne, Tyrann Mathieu. That's just the defensive backfield. Some of the DBs that are on the list. We'll get to it coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. City Cafe has came through as they always do. They come through this morning with some hot wings that we will celebrate our 10,000 subscribers on YouTube with. I hope you're watching on YouTube at 104.5 ESPN. Hunt Palmer's coming up next. We'll talk college football. We'll talk the state of the game right now. We'll also get his thoughts on LSU football heading in to a fall camp as they prepare for what is going to be a wild and quirky 2020 college football season. But we'll talk about it next with Hunt here on Off the Bench Daily, presented by All-Star Toyota.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota, located on the corner of Goodwood and Airline. Remember, you can find them there, or you need them online at All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You can shop the inventory. They got brand new cars over there on the lot. Tons to choose from. If you're looking for a pre-owned or certified vehicle, they've got over 90 in stock. If you just need a service call and you don't even drive an All-Star vehicle, you can take advantage of the service department over there. Easy and convenient entry on the corner of Goodwood and Airline. Stop in and see them. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Go to allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Imagine that. The All-Star family. There's over 13 different brands, but I was all too happy to join the Toyota brand. And shout out to my guy, Richard, who guided me through the purchasing process. Lee and Aaron finding me exactly what I needed. Now I got that minivan, man. They have incredible 2020 deals right now on Tundras, anything else that you could want. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the...
Yo, join us for a TGIF edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny, presented by Richards Honda from noon to 3. We welcome back onto the show former LSU All-American Craig Steltz on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Remember that old, I know you two don't, the old 1984 Macintosh commercial where they have this kind of monolithic black and white speaker talking about the monopoly that like your traditional PCs have on the market, and they're making it so samey and so 1984. And this woman rolls up and smashes the screen, and she represents Apple, stopping it from becoming that. Well, Apple has now gotten their own monopoly on the world and their own monopoly on the App Store, and they took Fortnite off of it, and Fortnite's fighting back using that exact same commercial against them. It's pretty fascinating stuff. But Jordy's back. Let's get to Hunt Palmer.
Hunt, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Is that the end of the Fortnite talk, or are we going back to that?
Yeah, no, that's the end of the Fortnite talk.
You got anything to add? You got anything to add to it?
Yeah, of course. I got a lot of Fortnite talk.
Do y'all at least remember the Apple commercial I'm talking about from '84?
I didn't hear what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's well, whatever. We'll explain in the commercial break. Let's get to. I'm sure Hunt wants to talk about the Cubs or something.
Hunt, does it matter what I ask you about anything that else that's going on around sports? Is all you want to talk about is the Cubs?
The Cubs are very happy. They're just a delight every single night. I finish work, I get dinner ready, and I watch the Cubs dominate every single night. It's fantastic. It's much better than watching movies or playing Catan or any of the other garbage that I went through for 5 months.
Is this are the Cubs built for this?
Yeah, it's a really good team. I mean, the bullpen's a little iffy, but the starting pitching's been phenomenal, and they've got a lot of good hitters that are hitting. They're playing with a lot of energy, and it's kind of a time where some teams are having trouble figuring that out. And they're doing a really good job of staying healthy. I mean, they're not doing stupid things like the Cardinals and the Indians, and who are ruining their seasons by going out and going to dinner and going to party in the Ozarks and getting coronavirus and wrecking the clubhouse. It's been about as perfect as it can be through 4 weeks.
Talking to Hunt Palmer here. Man, I had a baseball question just slipped my mind at the last second. Hunt, what was your reaction when you saw the 2 new opponents that LSU was going to add to their football schedule?
I almost choked on my beer. I mean, it was just hilarious. You could make the argument if you wanted to, and you're a conspiracy theorist, which I pretty routinely say that I'm not. I just don't subscribe to just about any of those things that come up. But it's pretty obvious that LSU got 2 layups, and Alabama got 2 layups, and Georgia got 2 layups. And those are kind of the sacred playoff cows of the SEC. Now, Florida deserves their spot there eventually, and they do have to go to Texas A&M. So, it doesn't go across the board. But then you also look at Missouri and Arkansas, who just got thrown right under the bus. And now I understand that the thought was, okay, if you've got a tough non-conference, if LSU's got Florida, then another division, you got Florida, will give you, an easier, draw on this side. And if you play lesser teams, then we'll give you tougher ones on that side. And you can certainly explain it that way. But, the teams at the bottom of the conference who are having to play heavyweights, the teams at the top of the conference playing teams that don't even have a pulse, it doesn't look great, but I'm all for it.
Are you all for F. King Alexander's comment saying that the SEC is not seeing reality and decided to continue with playing?
So I kind of put a tweet out about this on Wednesday night. Jacob and I were talking, and he is following this thing every second, refreshing Twitter, trying to get the latest update, trying to get the latest news, and I'm just over it. I can't deal with the dismissive, snarky, elitist attitude that a lot of the national sports writers have and that a lot of these academics have, that it's just some sort of Neanderthal. They've essentially painted this thing where everyone south of the Mason-Dixon line is a knuckle-dragging, fat, beer-drinking Neanderthal that can't function without football.
Yeah.
And it's just not that simple. Like, there's so
That's funny
much,
coming from F. King.
Well, exactly. I mean, that guy. But it's just, there's so much more that goes into it than, we need our football right now. Like, there are hundreds of thousands of lives and jobs at stake. There are athletic programs that can buckle, maybe for good. I mean, you're talking about billions of dollars. It's worth exploring the possibility to try to play. If we get to a point and we can't, then that's it. But why not try? And I just feel like it's now, if you try to make something happen, you're just some sort of, moron. I'm done with it. And as I said on Twitter, I'm going to function as if LSU is playing on September 27th through that 10-game schedule until someone comes out and says, that's it. I'm not reacting to who's meeting. I'm not reacting to somebody's anonymous source or feeling. I'm not reacting to none of that. Until they tell me they're not playing, I'm working under the principle that we're playing.
Do you think they get there?
That's what I'm not willing to do. I'm just not willing to have the discussion of, well, what do you think it looks like, or how many fans, or do you think we're going to play, or how many games are you going to play, or what if there's an outbreak? I can't live in that world anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm just going to function under the thought that we're going to play until we're not.
Yeah, I think it's something that we touched on yesterday, trying to be very present, right? Just instead of like fearing the future and what may come, as you said, just kind of deal with everything as it does come. Hunt, so later in the show, we are going to do a tier list, okay? There's 5 tiers, S being the best, then A, B, C, D. We are ranking the consensus/unanimous All-Americans from 2000 through 2019. When I give you that time period, who qualifies to you in the S category? Like who makes that top tier? And to be clear, nobody's bad in this group. Obviously, we are just separating the best from the best.
Yeah, I would go with certainly Burrow, certainly Dorsey.
Yep.
I feel like I would probably throw Josh Reed in there.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I feel pretty good about Fournette.
Whoa, I have Fournette way lower. You have him in the S tier?
He's the best running back I've ever seen at LSU. I think he's just a little bit better to me than Kevin Falk. I mean, I have to kind of put a caveat into the offense that he was playing in, and the fact that every time he took the football, there were 9 guys standing there ready to tackle him. And for his sophomore year, he busted a 75-yard touchdown run like 8 weeks in a row.
It was
I just
super
never
fun
seen
for a
anybody
minute.
like that.
Yeah. That Auburn game and Ole Miss game were incredible.
I think those are the guys that jump off the page. I mean, Patrick Peterson, Tyron, just some of those DBs have been sensational and could probably be argued. But I guess I got to figure out how many people I'm willing to put in that tier. Are we going to be like the
I'm trying to keep it super exclusive. No, I'm trying to keep it. I'm talking like 4, maybe.
Well, for sure Burrow, for sure Dorsey.
Yeah,
those are non-starters. And then, I think for me, probably.
Where does Jamar Chase go? Right.
I love Jamar Chase.
I mean, Biletnikoff winner. He won you the Natty, essentially.
Is it fair to judge Stingley and Chase at this point?
Just for the tier list, yes.
I'll be real honest. When I said Patrick Peterson's name and I said Tyron's name, I got to Stingley was coming up next. I mean, that's in terms of how good a football player they are. Yeah, that guy is deserving of the discussion.
Stingley, 2 years from now, we could have this conversation. He'd be best of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we ever revisit it,
if he's better than Burrow, then we'll really have a discussion on it.
Yeah. It might be impossible just in how football works for a DB to end up higher on this list than Joe Burrow would, but yeah, we'll see.
But I mean, if you're at DBU and you come out as the unanimous, as the guy,
that's fair.
I mean, think about the cats that have come through that program, and just you rattle off Stingley's name as the top of the list. I mean, potentially that's who he could be. When you think DBs at LSU, who's the first name that pops up? For me, it's Pat Peterson.
Yeah, Peterson.
It's still Tyrann Mathieu for me. Like I've said multiple times, that's the best football player I've ever shared a locker room with.
I say DBU, LSU, the first name you think of is who?
Probably Patrick Peterson.
Danny?
Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.
Corey Webster. Interestingly, I guess Corey Webster not a unanimous or consensus All-American, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Hunt Palmer here with us on Off the Bench. Hunt, we were talking about, if you want to talk about football season, we're talking about this LSU team. And last week, the coaches poll had them number 5 in the country. And we were talking last week how, I thought that was very respectful of the coaches poll. And it looks like somebody or whoever the voters are within that demographic, whether it's the sports information directors or the actual head coaches, that they had done their homework. Whether it's a condensed 2020 or it's a wide open 2020, to me, LSU feels like a contender.
Oh, for sure. And I think that when you have a season like LSU did last year and you have so many recognizable pieces and you're the focus of college football and it's your first time on that stage in the Ed Ogeron era, it's very easy for someone who's not going to dive into the roster to go, okay, well, Burrow's gone. Okay, Clyde's gone. Okay, Chason's gone. And they start running through the list of all these guys that are no longer there. Jefferson's gone. And they don't take the time to realize who's coming up next. And it's easy to say, well, look at all the people they lost. And they had never had a season like that under Ogeron. They'll regress to the mean. But the fact of the matter is they still got a ton of really good players. And I think this is the year where they determine whether or not they should be grouped in with the elite of college football. And not everything's equal because LSU's schedule is more difficult, but there are teams that are in the playoffs just about every year. Ohio State's in it every year. Oklahoma's in it every year. Clemson's in it every year. Alabama's in it every year. And then you look and Georgia's knocking on the door. And do you deserve to be grouped with those teams? And that's what you have to prove this year. And if you go out there and do that this year, I think you earn your spot.
Hunt, have a good weekend. We'll talk to you next Friday.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Hunt Palmer checking in this morning on a Friday just like he regularly does. We will eat some hot wings from City Cafe and talk that tier list of unanimous All-Americans from LSU football from the year 2000 on, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. It has been confirmed that the Huddle will die today. The Huddle application, which has been around since, I want to say, 2014 is when it was introduced. As Musso shakes his head and looks at me like he has no idea. T-Bob probably doesn't know the answer to this question.
No, it's been around since I've been here.
But
so
it's
I've
been around
here
for
over
forever.
3 years.
We will try to get confirmation on why today the plug is being pulled.
Does the why matter?
I don't know. There's a heavy rumor going around that this is Moscona's dealing. This is doing.
I say instead, like, if this is the funeral, the same way that you would be like, how'd this guy die? Maybe you would be.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty curious.
I'm
curious.
I guess
this is coming from the guy, though, that the Huddle, the relationship between you and the Huddle, I think it's going to probably end on a bad note. It started so high.
For years, it was very strong. I mean, it's become pretty toxic lately, but that just kind of mirrors the world right now in the pandemic. Everybody's a little on edge. Everybody's a little stressed. I'm not going to use a poor few weeks to judge what was on the whole a very good relationship with the seediest hive of scum and villainy that you will find in this part of the internet.
Wow. So on the last day, on the way out, it's not me, it's the world is the excuse you're using for the Huddle?
No, I'm saying it's not them. It's not them. I'm just saying it's just kind of the tenor of our times. Everything's tinged with politics. Everything's tinged with a little irritability, a little irascibility, a little arguing. So it is what it is. I don't think it's been as fun lately as it has been for the vast majority of its life. But it's still been a lot of fun. And we still use it for our mailbag questions. And we still use it for some Would You Rathers, even though that was terrible this week. We still use it for Munchie's questions for Michael Johnson.
It was terrible.
So, maybe we don't use it for Would You Rather anymore, but I'm going to miss mailbag and these other things, and we're going to have to figure out new ways of doing them. So on the whole, yes, I have very positive feelings on the Huddlers and the Huddle. It's just, yeah. And so I want to send them off on a happy note. Today is a celebration of life, not a lamentation of death.
Maybe a text in 2 weeks? You up?
No.
It'll go green.
No chance.
The text will be green.
I'll probably get on the other side of this.
It won't even be delivered.
Wow,
we'll close out hour one next.
I need them.
Off the Bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Daily here on Off the Bench. We are brought to you by Lanois Insurance. Remember, LANOIX agency.com. Ate lunch with the boys yesterday over at Building 5 with David and BG. Shout out to Miss Nell, who is going through recovery right now as she's making her recovery off of some cancer treatment that she just received. Miss Nell Lanois, who is the absolute glue and backbone of not only the Lanois family, but Lanois Insurance Agency. Online, LANOIX agency.com. 749-5640 is the phone number for auto insurance, home insurance, business insurance, flood insurance. Remember, personal testimonies coming from me and the big fella. They handle all of our insurance. It's bundled up for great savings each month. Online, LANOIX agency.com.
LanoisAgency.com, LanoisAgency.com. As Jordy said, great savings that you don't even have to work for. They customize policies for your specific needs. They actively work to save you money. When you have to file a claim, it's a really easy process. LanoisAgency.com.
The AL East leading New York Yankees face off again against their longtime rival, the Boston Red Sox.
Coverage begins Saturday afternoon at 5:30 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime. $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Citizens Bank is proud to bring you the Fan of the Week. But during these times with no fans, Citizens Bank is switching its support to the Banking on BR campaign to raise money for the Baton Rouge Food Bank. You can help out by visiting brfoodbank.org or bankingonbr.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly...
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We'll get you an update from Saints practice, and we continue to piece together what a college football season is going to look like in the fall. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Stick around, hour 2. We're going to talk college football with Cole Kubelik. We're also going to get into these hot wings that are provided by City Cafe, the official restaurant here of Off the Bench, as we go down the tier list of unanimous All-Americans for LSU football since the year 2000. Anonymous user inside the Huddle types in, Gordy Rush does not know what the hell he's doing running this radio station, canceling the Huddle today and leaving the true listeners out in the cold. We have dialed up the vice president of Guarantee Media this morning, the market manager, Gordy Rush, here on Off the Bench. Defend your decision, sir.
Well, hey, look, it's a rough day for me because I'm the one that brought commotion to Baton Rouge 6-7 years ago. I saw this beautiful platform over in Las Vegas at the NAB show, and I was with Joe Rod. We brought it back, and it's been great for us. But, you know, it's been sold 3 or 4 times. You can't get any support for it. And I'll be honest with you, I think one of the driving forces behind moving it out was YouTube, and I got to give Matt Moscona all the credit. We all know Matt hated the Huddle, right, and thought everybody was pretty much an idiot in there. But the thing about YouTube, we switched from Vimeo to YouTube, and Moscona, who we all know YouTube's in the morning and in the afternoon.
He's like all the time, dude.
And on the potty.
I'll let you know. Hey, do you want to talk about SEO? No, dude.
Thing, right? The YouTube chat's the next big thing. So we told him, he made a presentation to all our executives, and we're like, this looks good from a business standpoint. And he was right. I'll give him credit. And he said, give me 30 days. Let's put YouTube up, put YouTube chat on, and you can see that a lot of people have migrated to that. So, yeah, today's the last day for the Huddle. But, I'm going to give Moscona hated it. And you know how Moscona gets when he really wants
Golden
something.
Child, dude.
The new chairs, it took a couple of years to.
Who knows better than Off the Bench?
Blame Moscona.
Who knows better than
Moscona.
us? So there you go. It is confirmed by the decision maker himself. Gordy, have a great weekend.
Wait. What about the app as a whole? Is everything going away? I got a lot of people asking how they can listen during the show on their phones?
Yeah, so no, the app's going to remain. So the app's going to get a little bit of a makeover.
See?
You'll have the opportunity to listen, or there'll be a link that'll take you right to YouTube where you can chat on the YouTube feature. And the YouTube chat feature on the mobile is actually pretty sweet. So we definitely want people to interact. So, again, y'all give them a Moscona cell phone. Let them call Matt today.
Tell Matt we appreciate the leadership, sir. Thank you for the time this morning. Have a good weekend.
You got it. Take care. Bye.
Hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Colada and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Secure Shredding and Recycling. Remember, Secure Shredding and Recycling, wherever you are this morning in the listening area. If you're over in New Orleans, if you're in Lafayette, Alexandria, wherever you are in the southern part of our great state of Louisiana, Secure Shredding and Recycling can help you this morning. The premier provider of document destruction services for individuals, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and government agencies. You can find them online at SecureShreddingAndRecycling.com.
Somebody in the huddle called Matt Muscovid. Go to SecureShreddingRecycling.com today. You need a couple hard drives destroyed for free. You mentioned Off the Bench. They got you. Look, the bottom line is that document destruction is a services business. They're there to serve you. So why would you work with the national guys over the local guys, the LSU grads, the one who can give you a better rate, who you can have an actual relationship with? They can bring a truck out to your site. They have drop-off points. They can bring it back to their site. They do it all. Go to SecureShreddingRecycling.com.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Friday, August 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see scattered storms with a high of 93. SEC Network, Cole Kublik, SEC Analyst Network. Oh, God, that was awful. SEC Network analyst Cole Kublik joins the show at 8:30. T-Bob and Jordy are about to eat some really hot wings and try to do a segment. The Yacht Father, Jimmy Yacht, comes on with us at 9:30 to give you his locks of the weekend. Get into Huddle for the last day and follow the show. Brought to you by Bayou Ford. Also, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch the show live on YouTube at 1045 ESPN channel. Subscribe. Get over to the Off the Bench page. Subscribe there and set your notifications. New content comes at you every single day. Hour number 2 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off and at it off the bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. Online at 1045ESPN.com. We are on your smart speakers. We're also on YouTube. Remember to hit us on YouTube, 1045 ESPN. Search Off the Bench. Subscribe. Get notified for everything that's happening. Anything that happens on Off the Bench is brought to you by All-Star Toyota. Shop All-Star Toyota online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Cole Kublik coming up here in 30 minutes. Talk SEC football, college football, LSU with Kublik. Remember, our conversations are brought back to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge, carriagesbr.com. They're on social media, Instagram and Facebook. T's come through with a box full of chicken wings, spicy wings from our friends over at City Cafe. Squeaky Miranda, Cody Miranda, the crew.
Chef Christian Gardner putting this together yesterday. I said we needed some hot wings. You licked a little sauce off your fingers. How are you feeling? So what we have here, we have a sweet habanero barbecue. And then we got some wings right here. So I'm gonna take my wings.
Any for the boys?
And I'm going to dunk them in here. Y'all want to get in on this? Okay, well come on. When we start this, come on up here.
Don't be shy.
You can come grab one. Get some napkins, Danny, because you're gonna have some tier list work to do while doing this. So do we want to go ahead and?
Is that milk?
That is milk. In case we end up needing, I brought a gallon of milk for everybody. But yeah, look, I'm gonna hit a nice dunk there.
Good Lord.
And then are we ready to?
You're going in with that type
So you're just
of
gonna,
sauce?
yeah, you're gonna add. You're gonna add to it.
Yeah. Are we ready to do this?
I mean, the sauce is really kind of that's what's.
Yes, that's what they gave me the
lips
extra
right
sauce.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like a crawfish boil over here at your boy.
Okay.
All right, bro.
Okay.
So your plan for this segment was to just eat on air and talk unanimous All-Americans of LSU football?
Yeah, go ahead and
okay. You want me to
put
take
the
it?
list up on the screen.
All right. So we're going to do a tier list here.
One wing down.
T-Bob wants to eat hot wings and talk LSU football since the year 2000 as far as unanimous All-Americans go.
Go on, boy. Go ahead and get your wing
Well, I mean,
in.
how am I supposed to talk and set the segment up while you're...
Okay, I just ate mine now. You got to get one wing in. Get at least a bite in.
Well, take over. Here, pass the baton.
Okay, so here is the LSU. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit. Here is the LSU All-American tier list.
No, I
know.
You did dunk.
Okay. We're going to work at the bottom.
How are you dunking?
And we're going to work our way up top.
Why are you dunking?
So in the D tier, remember, these are LSU players from 2000 through 2019 who are either consensus or unanimous All-Americans. On the D tier, I feel like my heart's beating fast. We have Ben Wilkerson.
Sounds like it is. Sounds like it is.
LaRon Landry, Craig Stelch, Josh Jasper, Trey White. To be clear, too, like, to be on the D tier, you have to be a unanimous All-American or consensus. So this is not like a judgment of these guys, okay? This is just, that's Ben Wilkerson.
That's Elliot Porter.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Well,
Danny, you got Elliot Porter instead of Ben Wilkerson up there already. That's why he's in the D tier, disrespecting Ben like that.
Yeah. Danny has to dunk his wing now.
In the C tier.
That's a good one.
I have Mo Claiborne,
Full dunk.
Leonard
Full dunk
Fournette,
on the wing.
Mo Claiborne, Leonard Fournette, and Greedy Williams.
Good wing, though, bro.
In the B tier, I have Josh Reed and Pat P. In the A tier, I've got Chad Lavallee, Eric Reed, Grant Delpit, Devin White, Derek Stingley Jr. And in the S tier, I have Dorsey, Burrow, Matthew, and Chase. Now, let's go around the room. Does everybody see one move that they would change here off the bat or have an opinion? Danny, go ahead and leave that list on the screen in the back if you can. Don't worry. You can keep Elliott Porter for now. It's not a big deal. It's just a fat O-lineman.
Shout out to Elliott.
Yeah, shout out.
'Cause I need to look. Did you have Corey Webster on there anywhere?
He didn't make it.
He actually, according to Wikipedia, was not a consensus or unanimous All-American.
Oh,
Very
really?
surprisingly.
Okay. Oh, yes, I see that now. That's
Another odd quirk, Grant Delpit was the only one that qualified on this list 2 different years, twice. Out of all these great players, the only one that ended up on the list twice.
Well, I mean, you think Matthew, he was only his freshman and sophomore year that you got to see him. And his freshman year, while it was pretty dynamic, it wasn't what his sophomore season was. I would say the same for Leonard. And I thought Hunt had an interesting take on Fournette, who you have in the where do you have Leonard? You got a C list, which is that might be about right, because Leonard to me he was kind of a flash, right? I mean, it was
a hot and heavy relationship. When it was hot, it was like
on, babe.
He was blowing your mind.
It was on.
You're like, I didn't know my body could bend that way. That's unbelievable.
I mean, the fact that he did not even make it to New York and get invited to the Heisman that season.
That Alabama game was a joke. And
I mean,
Derrick
think
Henry,
about that.
Yeah.
Think about where he was going into Tuscaloosa. He was not only the Heisman winner, like he was one of those Burrow type favorites to win the Heisman, and he didn't even make it the invitation list.
Even after the Alabama Ole Miss, even after that 3-game losing streak, Leonard Fournette still was the nation's leading rusher per yards per game and did not get. That's a travesty.
Unreal.
That's a travesty.
Unbelievable. Where you were, like the Ole Miss game that season, the Auburn game that season, the South Carolina game that season.
Yep.
And to think that he did not get an invitation.
Florida game that year was great for him too.
To the Heisman Trophy award ceremony is amazing. I mean, it is amazing.
It's because Bama whipped your ass.
No, it did.
And then
Derrick Henry won the award that night.
Yeah,
I do think I'll still stand by this. If you,
you all right, bro?
I'm starting to struggle a little bit.
Okay, you gotta quit dunking, man.
I'm 4 down, 4 dunked wings in. I do think
Syracuse
that if you switch Derrick Henry and Leonard Fournette, I will still stand by that the same thing happens. That loss was not on Fournette. But all of that said, like Jordy said, there was that hot and heavy span where he looked like the greatest thing in college football, and then
really.
And then he fell off, and I felt like, that's why he ended up in the C tier to me. Very good, but the wins didn't necessarily follow, and then a lot of the hype kind of fell away. Well, by the end, people kind of wanted Geis over Fournette.
Well, but you got to remember Fournette was injured most of that 20. I mean, he was injured
the whole. He was injured the whole season.
He was injured the whole year, but he still goes out against Ole Miss that year on a bum ankle and runs for 274.
He sets the record, and Geis breaks it the next week.
But he also on the bum ankle, he gave you everything he could against Wisconsin. It's tough to call him a flash just because of that injury for me.
That is well and good, but we are sorting through the cream of the cream. And unfair or not, injuries do play a role in this, and they affect judgment.
Absolutely, they do. And I think that's why he was a flash. And this is not an indictment on Leonard Fournette, the player, as much as it is just his time at LSU. While, look, man, his 10 games, those 8 games his sophomore season, and I'd even go back the Music City Bowl game against Notre Dame. He was the best player on the field. And the Texas Bowl against Texas Tech in Mahomes. He put on a show that night.
Wow. The whole team put on a show that night.
I forgot they beat Pat Mahomes like that, dude. That's crazy.
They beat the hell out of DJ Chark.
Yeah.
Had a great game that night.
So did Brandon Harris.
Dude, how are you 4 wings in dumping in the sauce right now? Because I'm
committed to the bit,
a wing
dude.
in. Yeah, commit to the bit. Commit to the bit. I mean,
and I'm trying not to drink milk till the segment ends.
I've never even heard of the milk and wings thing.
Yeah, well, milk for hot, for spice, it cools it down. With Fournette, though, if we're talking, I understand that team success plays into it, and it absolutely has to. But if we're talking about based off of All-America, I mean, that's an individual award.
Dude,
so
it's
I
not
think
as much team success. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
it should be kind of the player that he is and was, the athlete, should factor in a lot too. And I mean, that's why I would have him higher than C.
Where would you put him?
I wouldn't put him in S, but I'd probably put him in A. I'd probably put him right below just because.
Well, somebody's got to go from A then, because
was.
we've got too many A's already.
Put it back
like
up,
one
Danny?
of my first
Okay.
thoughts is that we got to drop some of the A's down anyway.
First off, I would take Jamar Chase and Derek Stingley off of the table because
don't take them off. Just judge them where they're at currently, not where they're going to be.
I would judge them where they are currently. So to me, you would have to take Chase out of the S category because to me, if you're putting Chase in the S, you would have to put Stingley too.
Gotta stand up.
So
the only reason I put Chase in there, think about it. Not only did he have the greatest season that LSU's ever seen for wide receiver, but also in the Natty, when you're down 17-7, when you had to have it.
No, he's the best player on the
Who
field.
did they go to?
Yeah, no, he's the best player on the field.
Who won you the game with his one-on-one dominance?
Next August, Chase is in the S tier, without question. Right now, I think the S tier needs to be super exclusive. And for me, I'm fine with Burrow. I'm fine with Dorsey. I'm fine with Matthew. I would put Pat Pete there.
I would add Patrick. I would replace
just because he was
in the S
Patrick
tier?
Peterson.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude, he was a Thorpe and Bednarik Award winner. I mean, he was the best defensive
and he was
back.
in the Heisman race for a while.
Yeah.
He wasn't a finalist like Tyron, but he was there too.
And he was playing at a time when LSU's offense counted on the punt returner.
I was about to say deadly on the punt return.
And he was a deadly punt returner.
He returned two, just
I
like-
would have Pat Pete would be my fourth. I would
Okay.
take Chase out.
So bump Chase down to A, put Pat P up to S. How do y'all feel about the rest of the S category right now? Chad Lavallee, or the A, sorry, the rest of the A category. Chad Lavallee in the A. How do you feel about that?
Lavallee was the
Dude,
face
he
of
was
03
good.
defense.
I mean,
the
he was-
03 defense is it argued that could be the best LSU defense of all time?
I think it's between them and 2011.
2011 would be up there. 2005 had a great defense.
They did. They were very good.
And this
They
is
had a lot
I'm
of
just
they had
thinking
a lot of
modern
guys
days,
from
but
03 left.
2003 I think is recognized regularly as LSU's best defensive unit of all time, and Lavallee was the face of that. That featured Marcus Spears, that featured Corey Webster, that featured LaRon Landry, that featured Jack Hunt, and everybody talked about Lavallee every week in that 03 season.
I mean, I remember being a little kid and him being on all the interviews and everything else, and that's why I had him in the A. So we're keeping him in A.
You got sweat beads under your eyeballs. Do you want to take a break and come back and do this? Yes. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll continue this conversation of LSU.
See what the Huddle has to say too on its Huddle that day. Where would y'all put this all in?
We'll be back with more Off the Bench presented by All Star Toyota.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert.
Right, last
ESPN Baton Rouge.
Donaldsonville
New
Glass and
Orleans,
Body.
Alexandria.
Wow. Donaldsonville Glass and Body, you take the full 60 seconds. Go ahead, big fella.
DJAuto.com, DonaldsonvilleGlassandBody.com. Go there today for all your car needs. The best part is you can trust them. I am car ignorant, right? And they're not trying to get one over on me. They're just trying to make sure that I'm back on the road safely no matter what. You got it, Jordy. So if you want car stuff, go to DG&B.
Donaldsonville Glass and Body, 415 Division Street. I have no idea how you are eating that. Look at the sauce on that wing from City Cafe. My goodness, if you're in an accident near City Cafe on O'Neill and George O'Neill, it doesn't matter. Donaldsonville Glass and Body can come pick you up with 24-hour towing, take it back to 415 Division Street, make the repair, and then bring it back to you. That is customer service at its finest. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. In fact, right now they are hiring. It's a great place to work. Paid holidays, 401k, dgbauto.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. and I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who do.
Tune into a Thursday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. Tonight we're live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar from 6 to 8 p.m. Come down to North Boulevard and say hello or listen here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, shout out to our people over at City Cafe, Squeaky and Cody Miranda right there in the corner of O'Neill and George O'Neill, where good friends meet. Don't forget, they got the boiled shrimp back daily. Great lunch specials. Stop in and tell them you heard it here on OTB. Appreciate the wings this morning from the crew.
Yeah, we killed them, dude. Also, I'm through it. No milk. 6 wings, all dunked. Easy money, baby. It was a little hard at times. Could definitely handle hotter. The thing is about these wings, though, I was thinking we were going to get like gimmicky hot wings. These actually have a great taste. You cannot order these on the menu. You could call ahead and get them ordered. But yeah, this is a chef, as I said, Chef Christian Gardner made his own sweet habanero barbecue, and this is not a gimmicky sauce. Like, this is just a legitimate sauce if you like hot things. But yeah, very tasty, very delicious. Your boy's already recovered. No milk. I don't want to say I'm a beast, but hey, what are you going to do?
I'll do it. You're a beast.
S tier.
Let's get to it.
S tier wing eater, baby.
The tier list. Danny, the
Bring
list. Bring it back up. Where are we?
We're on A. We're still on A. We're still deciding on A. We
All right, so
decided to keep Lavallee.
I'm good with Lavallee.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good with Lavallee on the A list. If we're talking more about that 03 team, I would absolutely have Josh Reed. I mean, not the 03 team, but the early days of this list. I would absolutely have Josh Reed on the A list as well.
Okay, so move.
So
I think Josh Reed started on the B, so move him up to A. Somebody's got to go for adding Josh Reed. What about Eric Reed?
I would take Eric Reed out.
I would take Eric Reed down as well, and probably Stingley.
Stingley, I would take.
It's just 1 year. I mean, I know, and it was fantastic. He's got 2 more left. Just 1 year.
I mean, to be fair, almost everybody else in the A category.
I mean, if we're going by 1 year, if we're just going by 1 year, Mo Claiborne's 2011
Was very good.
Was fantastic.
Yeah, it was really good.
And if he's gonna, and that's the year that he was a consensus
Kickoff
All-American.
returner too.
The kickoff return against West Virginia
was huge.
was the
It was
play
a
of the
big
game.
spot.
Was the play of the
But
game.
we're already too full.
The
in A.
interception in Tuscaloosa.
And granted, he was an award
He
winner.
scored a touchdown on that one.
It looks like everybody else in this group was an award winner. I'm actually okay with you, Musso. I'd move Stingley down to B.
I got no problem with Devin White being there, and I
But
think,
then I say we hold.
Did Reed win the Thorpe? I didn't think so. So Reed didn't win an award, so I'm good with moving.
So
Reed
bump
down.
Eric Reed down to B, Danny. Bump Derek Stingley Jr. down to B as well. I think we keep Jamar Chase. Are we bumping Chase from S to A? Or are we keeping Chase in S?
I thought we were bumping him down.
Okay, bump down Jamar Chase.
I thought that.
I would put Chase and Stingley both at B, but you go back to these two cats next summer and they both could be S.
It's just tough to put Chase at B because
the best season ever for a
he
wide
won,
receiver
and
at
he
LSU.
won the Biletnikoff, right? And if we're gonna honor Tyrann Mathieu for his legendary get invited to New York season, like Chase had that similar singular impact.
Okay.
I can't go below A.
You have Reed, who won the Biletnikoff 2 in A, and Chase's season is statistically better than Reed's.
I mean,
so you have to have them at the same level, I think.
Honestly, looking at this, I mean, I don't feel like you can bump Devin White down because of everything that he did. He was near perfect for you. I think Chad Lavallee gets bumped down to B.
Are you not good with 4 people in Tier A?
I don't want to have more A-tier players than B-tier players. I don't think that makes sense as far as the list is concerned.
I was going to argue to bump somebody from C up to B.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think if anything,
Because Lavallee's the face, but was Lavallee actually on the field? And he was incredible, but was he as good as these other guys were on the field? When you're talking about who else is on that list right now, that's Devin White, Josh Reed, Jamar Chase, and
Delpit.
And then Delpit. Was Lavallee in that category of player?
I think he was in the 03 season for 1 year.
I was a kid. I mean, I was 14
that
years
that
old.
was his All-American year. Was
For
03?
1 year.
Oh, no,
he
I remember.
was.
I was 14. I remember loving the team, and as you said, he was the face. He was all over the media constantly. I guess maybe I'm just being a slave to the moment or slave to recency.
Yeah, that's what I don't want to do, because if you look further down the list, you do have Wilkerson, Steltz, Landry, and
Claiborne and
Claiborne.
Jasper.
You know what I mean? That they're further down and they're further back in your mind, and you don't want to forget or let distant memory play. That be the cause of them not being higher on the list.
All right. Then leave Lavallee in A. Then it seems like A might be locked. Are we cool with B? We have Marcus Spears, Eric Reed, and is that Derek Stingley?
I said I would put Fournette up there, but I know I'm outnumbered on that, so I'm sure he'll stay. What about Trey White? Possibly.
Yeah, I got Trey White in D currently, and I don't know if that's correct. He was dominant at LSU. He returned multiple punts for touchdowns.
He was an okay
first round pick.
He was an okay punt.
But he did score touchands. But he made a lot of mistakes. But he scored and like North
I didn't
Texas.
say he was great. I said he was good.
And North Texas.
He had that wild one against, was it Jacksonville State, where he just, everybody, no, wait, go.
Yeah, it's very like fumbled,
scenario,
exactly. Okay, so then now in the C category, you have Leonard Fournette, Mo Claiborne, and Greedy Williams.
Is that Mo Claiborne or is that Trey White?
This is Trey White.
Trey White on C, bud.
This is Trey White. This is Claiborne.
Okay, well they're flipped from where they were originally on my list. I
would definitely move Claiborne up.
Yeah.
Move Claiborne up to C.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I had him on my list. Claiborne at C.
I mean, Claiborne might have been the best player on LSU's best defense.
Okay, what about your boy Greedy Williams,
Or
dude?
Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, defensive
See,
ends
that's
on
the
that.
thing. To
that,
me,
that defense
yes,
is the best to me.
It definitely has
2011 is
some
the
of
best
its
one to
parts,
me.
but Tyrann was the X factor that made everything that he had that quarterback-like effect of bringing everybody up around him and making everybody better. But yeah, your ends, your Mingos, and
then you had Brockers.
Sam
I mean, is that the
Montgomery,
best defensive line?
Brockers and Logan. I mean, it's hard to say that when what did that 03 line have?
03 Lavallee, Spears.
Was Claude Roten on
Marquise
that?
Hill. Marquise Hill.
Marquise Hill was
Was
on
Claude
that team.
Roten already gone?
Claude Roten wasn't here yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wasn't here
Wasn't
yet.
here yet. The
Junior
other
in 05?
defensive tackle in 03 that was
Who was
big on
next
that
to
team.
Next to Lavallee?
Golly, why can't I can't think of who that was on that team. Let me think of it. It'll come to me. So where are we? We're on C.
Yeah, we're on C. No, I think we're okay. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up then. Are we? I think we're happy with C, right? We have who's the final count there? Is that
I got Fournette, Claiborne, Greedy Williams, Trey White.
Does Greedy Williams deserve to be in C or D?
I don't mind Greedy in C.
No, me either.
Okay.
I really don't.
Okay. And then on the bottom we got Ben Wilkerson, who is my guy. Absolutely love Ben Wilkerson.
Is he
monster.
the only Remington Award winner at LSU? Is he?
Yeah. Should he be higher than D?
Maybe so.
I mean, I'm down to bump Ben up to B. I'm a big fan of Ben. If y'all are cool with bumping Ben up to B, I also think that Ben. I don't know if this counts for the purposes of this conversation, but I've said it actively, or I've said it a lot. I think that Ben Wilkerson is the X factor behind 2011's offensive line play, and why the line took such a big jump in 2010 and 2011. Because as good as Coach Stud was at a lot of things in teaching O-line play, actually teaching technique was definitely not his strong suit. And Wilkerson came in and he brought all this NFL knowledge. He had just gotten out of the league. He brought drills that we weren't doing before. Like, he had a massive impact. So, yeah, Wilkerson to B?
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that, yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Because he is an individual award winner.
Kyle Williams was the other defensive tackle.
Oh,
in 03.
God.
How can we forget that?
Okay, we
That's our
suck.
fault. Yeah,
How
that's
is he
bad.
not a consensus or unanimous All-American?
that's
Look
our
what
fault.
Kyle Williams went on to do in the league. Okay, so no, the 03 line.
Well, I mean, we talked about that 05 defense. He was the face of that.
He was
the face
He's
of
a
that.
senior.
Yeah, he was the one that gave him that speech in Tuscaloosa, and they had to come back and win an OT.
I think from a talent standpoint, 06 was better. The 05 one's one that Tommy Moffitt always says. If it wasn't for Katrina, it was probably the most talented team.
I'm telling you, that
of the
05 team,
Saban Miles era.
That 05 team that beat the hell out of Miami on the field and in the tunnel. If they would have gotten a bye week, they might have been the national champs.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, and then the other D list right now, we got Craig Stelz, LaRon Landry, and Josh Jasper.
I can't speak high on Jasper. I know that's your guy.
Yeah, he's
here.
awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
great kicker.
So I mean, he's a kicker on this list. Just the fact that he's on the list is good enough.
Yes.
So put him at the D.
Yes, if a kicker was going to get bumped up on this list, they would need a Lou Groza to their name or like a championship winning kick to their name. Now, he hit a lot of big kicks to win games, but obviously not the biggest boy.
When I think of safeties, when I think of defensive backs at LSU, I think Tyrann Mathieu, I think Patrick Peterson. When I think safety, I think LaRon Landry.
He's the only one I would probably move off of D. Yeah. Dude, Landry was an impact player.
I mean, that 05 defense.
But look at these other DBs. If we pull all these DBs together, are you taking Landry over Reed?
Well, see, the only thing about these DBs that I see is that outside of Delpit, are they all corners?
Delpit and Reed. So
Reed.
Delpit and Eric
Okay.
Reed. Are you those three? LaRon Landry, Grant Delpit, Eric Reed. Who are you taking?
Who?
I mean,
you know what?
They were all first round picks.
Yeah, no, exactly.
All
I mean,
of
we
them
are.
first-round picks,
This
so
is the
you're
ultimate
splitting
sports
hairs.
talk splitting of hairs. But I mean, I feel completely comfortable.
LaRon was the hardest hitter out of them.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah,
LaRon was the one
Eric
that
Reed could lay some lumber.
You know,
man.
Eric Reed would hit you. Eric Reed was probably the best football player out
In
of
college.
all three of them.
I think so.
Eric Reed was probably the best football player out of all three of them. But LaRon owned that real estate on the back end of a defense better than he scared the hell out of people. I still see him hitting Brody Croyle at Alabama. I still see him hitting that Arizona quarterback on that blitz. I mean, when he would get through on the blitz, and that's what I'm fired up about seeing in Pelini's defense. I don't mean to get off topic, but I mean, like, blitzing defensive backs.
There it is.
Whew! I mean,
what about though? I mean, play the Eric Reed Arkansas highlight where he kills the guy coming over
Eric
the
Reed
middle,
made the
or the pick
best
in
play.
Tuscaloosa, which won us
the best play
game.
of 2011 was made by Eric Reed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I mean,
Best play of 2011.
Yeah, guys, just man, that speaks to it to have LaRon Landry on the D.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
He did have LaRon Landry also had the most impressive body that I've ever seen in my entire life. For me, a freshman 07 and going to 7-on-7.
He got too
It
freakish.
did. Especially that one picture of his biceps where he's
Yes, he got
advertising
too
his
weird.
new.
He looked like he had
Where they were bigger than his head.
a baby
Yeah,
inside
that
of his
picture.
arm.
Yeah.
All right, Cole Kubelik. We'll talk to you next.
I feel like we pretty much nailed down the list, though. Oh, so, Danny, go ahead, lock it, and then we'll put it out there and see what people think.
Off the bench with Colada and T-Bob.
Central Plumbing Company brings you Off the Bench daily here. Remember, online, centralplumbing.org. 925-8552 is how you get in touch with them. If you need residential or commercial plumbing services today, you can call Jay Payne, Zach Payne, Brandon LeBlanc at 925-8552 or online at centralplumbing.org.
Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org. finalizingls.org. Go there today for all of your plumbing needs. Chances are I might be calling them later. Who knows what's going to happen on the other side of this habanero adventure. But no matter what happens, I know that Central Plumbing is there for me. And I know they can fix whatever problems that I'm having. And when I call them, I know that I'm going to get people who are licensed, bonded, and insured, that I can trust who's coming in my home and get a picture ahead of time so I know who to expect. I know that there's a warranty coverage to give me peace of mind after. It's a flat rate pricing structure, so I'm not going to be taken aback by any surprise or hidden fees. And so any plumbing issues that you have, don't think twice. Just pick up the phone, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Yo, join us for a TGIF edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny, presented by Richards Honda from noon to 3. We welcome back onto the show former LSU All-American Craig Steltz on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Failure happens to us all, but it's how champions evolve. The only thing that matters from a loss is if you get back up when you fall. You gotta get up. Failure happens to us all.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Edward Jones and Tex Morris brings us our conversation with Cole Kublik, who in our opinion is the best college football analyst in the game. He breaks down the sport, watches it better than anybody. He's with us every Friday. in what is gearing towards the college football season. September 26th is the opening date as LSU and the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12 march forward. What a week it has been in college football. Always good to get a peace of mind from Cole. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Doing all right.
What up, Cole?
Wrap up this week of the college football world for me in the first question. Could you do that?
Bananas.
Yeah.
Bonkers. I mean, unexpected. It's just. I think a lot of us maybe you guys are like me, and I'm just partially in denial with a lot of this. I never really thought the Pac-12 was going to go. I just didn't. Never really thought that it was going to happen based on geography, what was happening in certain spots where schools are located inside that conference. And then when the Players United thing came about, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I thought immediately, man, that's not going to be good for us seeing Pac-12 football this year. Probably shouldn't think that way. That's probably not right to feel that way, but that's just kind of the way that I felt the administration would look at it. So it was, we are in the middle of top 5 most historic moments in the history of college football.
Yeah.
I mean, college football has been paused, 2-3 times for an entire season ever. So, I mean, we're talking about world wars that got in the way of it before. This is unprecedented stuff, man. And it's scary. It's hurtful. You hate it for the players. It's confusing. I think it makes you question a lot of things, and it makes you just wonder why. When and why, I think, are the two big questions that a lot of us have right now. When are things going to get back to normal? When are we going to see things that we want to see? And why are some of the things happening that have already taken place?
Do they ever get back to normal?
No, I don't think so. I think what's your definition of normal, I guess?
I guess what we saw last year, 2019 edition of college football. You ever see it like that again?
No, I think it's going to be like, sorry, Cole.
College football as we know it is finished.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time that I remember thinking this way, and it was still very different, was, I went to the Auburn-Florida State game in Pasadena. It was the last BCS championship game, hell of a football game. And I walked away from that game, and I looked at my wife and 2 of my teammates that were with me, and I said, college football is never going to be the same. It's changed forever. We witnessed the end of an era, and that was the beginning of the playoff era. And I said, you know what? It might be great, but it's not going to be the same ever. And that was the last major sort of fork in the road for college football that I remember. And this one's much bigger than that because there are multiple directions that we could go.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like, to me, when you talk about college football being the same or not, like I'm not even thinking of it from a pandemic sense because we'll get through this. But I do agree with you. This feels like something that ends with kind of the professionalization a little bit of college football and maybe even something like all Power 5 schedules. Speaking of schedules, Cole, we're talking to Cole Kublick here on Off the Bench. How about LSU, right? We were kind of throwing shade at Alabama and making jokes about how they're probably stomping their feet, and that's why it's taking so long. LSU getting hooked up on the schedule front.
I mean, I could not believe that the return trip to Vanderbilt actually
Unreal.
I know, dude.
I mean, I guess the city of Nashville was so excited about what LSU fans did last year that they just decided, okay, we're gonna try to get as many people as we can. We don't know what it's gonna look like inside the stadium, but hopefully they can come drink out the town again like they did a year ago. But I mean, it's not what I anticipated. I think it's easy to look at it and say, oh, okay, well, they got hooked up, and a couple of other teams got hooked up as well.
Yeah.
But it could have been much worse. I'll say that. And unless you're Arkansas or Missouri, and then I don't think it could have been much worse if you're those schools.
Missouri.
They gave Drinkwitz. He looks like such a nerd already. They gave Drinkwitz in year 1. Alabama and LSU added to the schedule out of nowhere. Oh my God, dude.
Welcome to the league, guys.
Yeah.
Cole, what about Auburn? What's because to me Auburn's additions are very interesting. Obviously South Carolina, I do believe that Auburn's clearly better than them, but Auburn Tennessee feels like a bit of a separation game where Auburn can prove that indeed they are cut above, or Tennessee can prove that that they're moving towards that top, that there's some legitimate steam there.
Yeah, it makes for two interesting opponents because I already thought the Auburn-Kentucky game was going to be one that was really interesting. And I think Kentucky's going to be better than people believe. And that was earlier in the season, and I kind of viewed that as sort of a swing game, sort of that fork-in-the-road game. Auburn-Mississippi State had been that for a long time, where either one of those teams were going to separate. Usually it was the winner of that game. It was a close game a lot of times, very competitive. And then the winner seemed like they would kind of go on. I mean, like if you remember that 2013 Auburn team, everybody remembers Ricardo Lewis, the Prairie Jordan Hare, and the kick six. But, I mean, Nick Marshall had to throw a wheel route to C.J. Uzoma with around a minute left in that game to take the lead at home for that Auburn team, to kind of go undefeated. You remember Cam in Starkville, I think that was like 17-10. And the Auburn offense just couldn't get anything going that day. And then obviously Auburn finds a way to squeak out a win, and then they kind of get things ramped up a little bit. So I viewed that Kentucky game that way, and I think Tennessee's a very similar opponent. They obviously have a great offensive line. If they can get a quarterback, just not throw it to the team in the different color jersey, they got weapons in the backfield. They've got weapons at receiver. I think Jeremy's as good of a coach as far as X's and O's and in-game adjustments as anybody in the league. So I think you put a couple of – now you got more dangerous teams on your schedule. So I think that Tennessee game is one that I don't view Auburn and Tennessee very different from one another going into this season.
Who got it worse, Arkansas adding Georgia, Florida, or Missouri adding LSU, Bama?
No, it's Missouri. I don't even think it's close. I mean, it's Georgia, Florida. Yeah, those are tough. But I mean, you're talking about the defending national champion, and you're talking about the team in the league every year that people say could end up being national.
But I
champion.
guess is Arkansas even worse than Missouri, so that then becomes more impactful for them, or it's just all about LSU, Alabama?
That makes sense. No, that makes sense. And maybe you would say the fact that Arkansas already has Auburn, Alabama, A&M, LSU, and then they get those two.
Oh God.
Yeah, probably a little bit worse. I mean,
think about
listen, we still think that the West is better than the East, top to bottom, even though the East is a little bit deeper this year than it has been. Vanderbilt's just not going to be a good football team. But I mean, and then you add to that, what's Mississippi State really going to look like? Does that offense get going? I mean, they got a veteran quarterback that could be pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
And then we know Lane Kiffin can dial up plays, and he's going to have a ton of young talent on that offense. So, yeah, overall difficulty, I might agree with you that Arkansas probably got it worse.
What about Will Muschamp in South Carolina? Is he on any sort of hot seat? Because to me, it seems like Will Muschamp has done nothing but turning kind of mediocre results pretty much his entire head coaching career, while getting like $4 to $5 million a year.
I mean, me personally, T-Bob, I don't think anybody's on a hot seat this year. I just
That's
don't.
fair.
Yeah.
I think that there's just financially, fiscally, I don't think you're going to be able to make it happen.
Yeah.
And unless you just have some guy with FU money coming in saying how much he hates that coach, and he has a certain coach that he wants to get in there, and he's willing to write, an 8-figure check to be able to make it happen, then okay, maybe possibly. But I don't know how many people are just willing to do that in these times. So, I mean, I think almost everybody, unless it's something off the field, some sort of a behavioral issue or, something along those lines, I just don't see many coaches getting fired this year, no matter what they do on the field. I mean, I think, and especially if you're talking about, if we're going to talk about record and performance, well, if you're playing 10 league games, like we talked about this on my show on Jackson Birmingham, like what's acceptable to fans, to administration, to analysts, to us, talking about on the radio, because a 2-loss season might be really damn good.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not. But I mean, how many 2-loss seasons have we been bragging about recently? Not very many. So, like, if you look at that South Carolina schedule, if they were to go 5-5, that would actually be a pretty good year. I mean, it sort of depends on who the wins are and who the losses are and what your performances look like. But 500 against that schedule wouldn't be bad for them. But is anybody going to give them credit for it? Probably not. So it's going to be weird times. But I don't think anybody's truly on the hot seat. You'd have to have you'd have to have a couple of mega boosters just really rolling in saying that they just can't deal with it anymore, and they're willing to write all the checks to be able to get it done.
Add a little input for us here. As we were discussing earlier, we were making a tier list of LSU's unanimous All-Americans since 2000, and we were talking about the safety position, and they've got Grant Delpit, LaRon Landry, and Eric Reed. Jamal Adams was not on that list. He was not a unanimous All-American.
Craig Steltz is technically on that list.
But if you're choosing out of the three, Delpit, Landry, and Reed, where are you going?
Man, I would probably go Eric Reed. I feel like he had more range. I feel like I remember him making more big plays, and maybe I'm just stuck on that one-handed interception in Tuscaloosa. Grant was a little bit beat up and obviously couldn't play the way that he was capable of playing some of the time, and I think that held him back a little bit. But I mean, LaRon Landry was he was like a damn inside linebacker playing safety. It's just, I think if you're talking about a guy coming up to the box, you're probably going to take him. But I think if you want a safety, a guy who's going to be versatile, can do different things, cover different positions, and play a little bit physical, I think you probably have to go Eric Reed.
Have a good weekend, my friend.
I appreciate it, guys. You too. Thank you.
All right, take it easy, Cole. There you go. So he agreed with what we were saying.
Yeah.
E. Reed actually holding it down at the top of a very good safety list.
Edward Jones, Tex Morris, bringing that conversation weekly here on Off the Bench. We will close at hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by All-Star Toyota, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Remember, you can find them online, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Shop all the inventory online as well. If you're looking for a new Camry, they can get you into one today with 0% APR for up to 72 months, or a Corolla, 0% APR for up to 60 months, or $2,000 customer cash. Online at All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Carly, welcome to the YouTube chat. Look, you want 0% APR financing for 72 months on a new Camry? They got you. 0% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2020 Corolla? They got you. $4,500 customer cash on a brand new 2020 Tundra? They got ya. Okay? It's not just new vehicles, though. You want to buy a Toyota certified used vehicle where you get a warranty and other things that you only get with new vehicles normally? They got you there as well. You want to rent for the weekend? They got you. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Off the Bench, hanging with Hester and Hanny. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube page. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat. Find highlights for each show's channel and get notified whenever we go live.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This is big. Really big. I mean really, really, really big. Because Honda's summer clearance event is going on right now at Richards Honda. With 0 to the 4th power on brand new Honda Civics. That's 0 down, 0 due at signing, 0 security deposit, and 0 first month payment. Plus, summer clearance on every new vehicle in stock. Just another reason why people call Richards Honda the smart choice. I-12 at Millerville Road and richardshonda.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We'll get you an update from Saints practice, and we continue to piece together what a college football season is going to look like in the fall. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Good stuff from Cole Kublik here on Off the Bench. Regularly brought to you by Tex Morris and Edward Jones. They're on Jefferson Highway. Stop in and see Tex. Tell them you heard it here on Off the Bench. Hour 3 with T. Got Mintz and Ott coming in.
Yeah, we got Mintz coming in. Sit with us for the hour as he does. Otter will give you picks at 9:30 that you can play this weekend. And I got a lot of NFL talk on the docket. Some Saints news as getting hyped up about Marshawn Lattimore, getting hyped up about Drew Brees and Jared Cook. There's a really good athletic article about a quarterback tier list that they did where they had 5 tiers of quarterbacks. And there's just definitions like, above and beyond guy, like solid starter, but who needs a good team, to somebody like who shouldn't be starting, right? And they talked to 50 coaches and like player personnel pro scouts, so people who cover or coach against these players, and they are the ones who voted. And the quotes coming out of there are fantastic, as are kind of where some of these quarterback ends up. It lets you know what the actual guys in the NFL, the guys who are preparing and game playing for these players, it lets you know what they really think about them. Pretty fascinating stuff. So we'll get into all that in hour number 3. And I'm excited to see the public reaction to our officially locked in tier list. The last move that we made was bumping up Eric Reed to A, bumping Grant Delpit down to B, and now I think we have it locked. We will release it into the wild.
Remember, anything you missed here on Off the Bench is always brought back to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. You can also hit everything up on YouTube. Search us at 104.5 ESPN, and anything that happens here on OTB, search the highlights on the Off the Bench page. My last couple of minutes here with the Huddle. It has been a hell of a run over the last 6 years with the Huddle application. Moscona, as usual, kills everything that's cool around here. So continue to just stomp on Moscona and let him know, as Gordy Rush, our vice president, confirmed it right here on OTB at the end of hour 1, that Moscona was the actual decision maker on killing the Huddle.
Hell of a presentation.
Must have been.
Hell of a presentation.
Must have been.
We all know his rhetorical skill, and it looks like he put it to full use in killing this Huddle thing.
So there you go, man. The
What's your favorite Huddle moment of all time as you go on the way out?
My favorite Huddle moment of all time had to be the reaction real time coming in from Jimmy Chester and I, mother bleeping each other.
One of the OGs. I mean, this would have been about 6 or 7 years ago.
This was like early Huddle days. We had the Vine application rolling. Not Vine.
Shout out Vine.
Not Vine. What was the
Still shout out Vine.
What's Twitter's Periscope? Periscope is the streaming app for Twitter. We had that open, and we were streaming a show, and during a commercial break, Chester and I went face to face and just started mother bleeping each other into each other's face.
In the closet.
We got right back onto into each other's seat right before we went right back to air, and the huddle just one after another just letting us know that they had heard everything that gone on. It was the first time that I realized that there was more than like 4 people in there.
Did y'all act like nothing was wrong on air when you sat back down?
No.
Like, did y'all try to
because
play it like
that's
smooth? Because remember the Joe Brady interview when basically me, you, and Rivs were all yelling at each other during the commercial break, but then like during the interview, we're just like, oh, we're like sitting there and everything was all smooth. Everybody's like, wow, this is such a good interview. And like in between in the commercial, I stormed out of the room. We were all pissed at each other.
What was it? Was it Joe Brady?
Yes. I was asking a question. You gave me a hurry up sign. I was already in a bad mood. That triggered me. I think, like I said, like don't ever like bleep and tell me what to do again or something.
I can see
You're
it
like,
coming.
well, bleep you then.
Yeah.
And then Rivers is like, and shout out Rivs. She's been in the huddle too.
Guys.
Yeah.
Shut up, Rivers.
So we were going at each other. But the point being that did not make it on air.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
the Jimmy chest hair thing did.
It did. All right. Have a good third hour.
All right. OTBOT coming up next. Lock of the week. Gonna give you some more money making picks. See if you can make any money this weekend. It's off the bench. 145, 143, 94.7 ESPN.
Off the bench with Colada and T-Bob.
Brought to you by Ochsner Sports Medicine. Remember, 3 locations, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Covington. Whether you're a professional athlete, a weekend warrior, or somewhere in between, the Ochsner Sports Medicine Institute has what you need to get you back in the game as quickly and as safely as possible. Over at Ochsner, their sports medicine specialists are equipped with an unparalleled depth of experience, the latest diagnostic imaging technology, and cutting-edge rehab equipment. Online, ochsner.org.
Ochsner.org. Go check them out. Look, the Grove is brand new in Baton Rouge. It's beautiful. Sitting on the North Shore, you're over there in New Orleans. The physical therapy talent and facilities are second to none, right? It's professional to the Pelicans and the Saints use. And if you want to get that same professional treatment, no matter if you're a high school athlete, an ancient athlete, anything in between, Ochsner has you. But it's not just if you get injured. You want to get bigger, stronger, faster. You want to maximize your potential. And I mean that through like gait analysis, the latest techniques. Go to ochsner.org today.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business.
I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a new Camry for $239 per month, or take 0% financing for 6 years. $239 per month or 0% for 6 years. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
Hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Friday, August 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see scattered storms with a high of 93. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Coming up today on OTB OT, the Ott Father Jimmy Ott joins us at 9:30 with his locks of the weekend. You can follow today's show inside the 1045 Huddle app, brought to you by Bayou Ford, for one more hour before it ceases to exist. Also, get just up on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch us live on YouTube. It's the 1045 ESPN channel. Subscribe. Get over to the Off the Bench YouTube page. Subscribe there as well and set your notifications for new content posted daily. OTB OT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome in OTB OT, hour number 3. Ben Mintz will be joining us shortly. A lot to get to this hour. We've locked in our casual Friday tier list. We ranked all the All-Americans in the golden age of LSU football, which I consider to be the year 2000 on. So 2000 through 2019. Got the best ones of all time. Ranked them. Put it online here in a minute, and you can tell us if you agree or disagree. Some breaking news here. It looks like Governor John Bel Edwards has been given a national championship ring. No surprise there. Him and Coach O been close throughout this entire process. Also, if you're someone's like, why is he getting a ring? I mean, I think didn't Jacob Hester and Cody Worsham even get rings? I think they gave rings to the game day crews and everything. So there's the point is there's a lot of rings to go around. Huddle Death is today. The final countdown, if you will. Shout out to the 1045 ESPN Huddle. Place that I've often described as the most wretched hive of scum and villainy that you will find anywhere on the Southeast airwaves. As far as my own personal memories, a ton of good, a ton of bad. Watching everybody's reaction, during the G-string thing, was a ton of fun. Always was a ball of nerves going into any purple and gold release, and seeing the positivity and the support that came out of the huddle was always very validating, very gratifying, and very positive. The experience there, it wasn't all positive. I remember when I first came here, doing night radio for a few years, so I was fast and loose, very wild, and so I think there was a bit of friction with the listening base when I got in here, and I'll never forget. It was my birthday many years ago, February 9th something, and I think I actually went home and locked myself in a closet and had a bit of a cry to myself. I was very down. I was very down. I just made the switch. The chemistry of the show wasn't there. It was a very real moment, but look, even in the most kind of trolly of criticisms, there's normally something that you can be learned. There's normally a kernel of truth there into something that you could improve on and get better. And so I had to. And then eventually we figured it out on this show. And then I think the show got better. And then people came around to it. And so it's been a pretty fascinating journey up to this point with the Huddle. But yeah, today is going to be the final 60 minutes of it. Musso, Danny, y'all are newer here. Do y'all have any big Huddle memories that stick out in your mind, Moose? Moose? Do you have any big Huddle memories that stick out in your mind?
No, not really. I didn't really use it very much, to be honest with you. Just didn't use it.
That's fair.
I don't really have a reason. I just didn't do it.
What about you, Dan? Same?
Yeah, same.
Okay. Well, I probably should have asked y'all off air.
I
Because
mean,
it fell flat on its face, didn't it? I will miss it for whatever it's worth. I will probably miss it as much as, no, I doubt I'll miss it as much as Musso misses Mookie Betts. How about Mookie Betts last night,
He's a
man?
savage, bro. I mean, look, I have no ill will to Mookie Betts at all. I would still call him my favorite player.
How about this?
I have ill will to the franchise that I support who just willfully gave him up.
So Mookie Betts hit 3 home runs in one game last night, which is impressive in its own right. What made it even more impressive is that it is the 6th time in his career that he has hit 3 home runs in a single game. Only 2 other players have ever done that in baseball history. Think about baseball, too, with 1 billion games for 1 billion years. Like, it's so hard to find a group or to do something that nobody or very few have done before. And here Mookie Betts becomes just the 3rd player to have 6 3-home run games. He joins Sammy Sosa. And what's Mize's first name? Is it Ian? I can't remember. His last name's Mize. Either way, those are the only other players in baseball history that have ever done it. But check out this. It took Sammy Sosa 2,354 career games. Johnny Mize, thank you. Took Sosa over 2,300 games to do it. It took Mize nearly 1,900 games to do it. Mookie Betts had his 6th 3-home run game only 813 games into his career. He did it essentially 3 times as fast as Sosa and 2 times as fast as Mize. We said it's rare to do anything that nobody's done before. Well, there you go, Mookie Betts. Take a bow.
Yep. Also, get out of town. We don't want to pay you, so we're just going to ship you to L.A.
Also, cool. The Red Sox lost 17-8 last night to the Tampa Bay Rays.
You want to know what makes it worse? That punctuated a 4-game sweep of the Boston Red Sox.
Excellent.
And now they get the Yankees.
Yeah, who have the worst record in the AL. The other funny story that I kind of want to touch on before we dive into Saints and NFL talk this hour, did y'all see Kama Severand, the cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks? Did y'all see this story?
Yes.
Somebody else put it in here because I've seen it. But somebody else put it. So one of y'all, either Jordy put it in there. Well, look, did y'all watch? I ended up watching Hard Knocks yesterday. I caught up in the episode of this. It's fantastic. It really is good this year. And like Jordy said, one of the big takeaways is the links that everybody are going to battle this pandemic and really the importance that the coaches are putting on. Remember, we talked about how we're kind of applauding Sean Payton for the emphasis that he was making, for creating the pseudo bubble environment, and for publicly saying that. I think along with getting ready for the season itself, like the biggest separating factors, along with talent and injuries and all these things this year, maybe the biggest factor will be who manages COVID the best. And this is not a take that is unique to Sean Payton. You see Anthony Lynn set the same tone. You see Sean McVay in this episode set the same tone. And I got to imagine that Pete Carroll is as well, because Pete Carroll's a very good football coach, and he understands it. So there's a lot on the line, okay? And you can't be messing around. You got to be more disciplined than maybe it's even fair to ask some of these guys. Well, Kama Severand apparently didn't give a damn, because the NFL Network was reported that he was released. And the reason why he was released is that he got caught trying to sneak a woman into his room in camp. But the best part about this is not even that he was just trying to sneak a woman in. Like that is what it is. But he went straight up like Looney Tunes with how he decided to do it. He put her in Seattle Seahawk gear and tried to make her look like a player and sneak her by the security.
So here's my... First of all, it's so good. But did he really think they don't know who's on their own staff?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, when it's so tight right now, they're trying to keep any outside influences, any outside people from getting in. You thought you were going to be able to convince these people that the girl you're trying to smash was an NFL football player? The body types are wildly different. I don't care if she's rocking like a Megan Thee Stallion body. You're not going to convince anybody. Well, in that case, it'd just probably be too curvy, but you get the point. Just putting Seattle Seahawks gear on them is not going to get it done. Also, Severin, come on, bruh. You were on thin ice already. You're a rookie that signed for $2,000. Like, you're the first person that they'd be willing to cut. And sure enough, he's willing to cut. But it's like my grandpa always said, man. Can't let the little head be in charge of the thinking, okay? You got to keep it up top. You got to listen to the big head first and foremost. Rest in peace. Wise man. A very wise man. All right, when we get back, Ben Mintz is going to join us, and we are going to dive into what I want to talk about, the New Orleans Saints, how good Marshawn Lattimore can be, what is holding him back from being a top 5 corner in the entire league, the Jared Cook hype train rolling on, Jared Cook reinforcing how good Drew Brees is, and we'll talk to Ben about Playboy Marty's sons next here on OTBOT.
OTBOT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business.
I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
It's a special edition of Game Time tonight from Magnolia Bluffs Casino and Hotel. The guys take a road trip down to Natchez, Mississippi to get you ready for all the weekend's action. Tune in tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Do we see the confetti fall? Be ready for war. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's going on? Welcome back to OTB OT. T-Bob Hebert and Ben Mintz hanging out with you. Ben Mintz, of course, the better half of Game Time with Jimmy Ott. Speaking of Otter, he's going to join us a little early as the Worm has something going on this morning. Ott, what's up, brother? How you feeling? 9:15 on a Friday. You ready to make some money this weekend?
OTT here on the OT for OTB, baby.
Whoa.
Let's go.
Whoa, a lot there, Otter. First off, I would like to ask you and Ben here, as I have y'all here, how is our boy Playboy Marty holding up? As for those that don't know, Playboy Marty, who produces their show, I believe it is his brother. It works for the Phoenix Suns,
Yes.
right? Like something like an SID.
He's like the head of communications.
Okay, so essentially like an SID or something along those lines. So he's he's got massive Suns ties. The Suns 8-0 the bubble and don't make the play-in due to Dame Lillard dropping 40+ last night and the Blazers barely edging the Nets. How's Playboy Marty holding up?
I was texting with him last night, and we were discussing as we were watching, Milwaukee lay down to Memphis, and Dallas lay down to Phoenix, and it was setting up, for this what we thought was a lopsided matchup between Portland. The betting public has been pounding the teams that need it versus the teams that are resting players. They cashed on those two games and have been cashing, and they bet that thing from 7.5 up to 10 last night. So the world was on Portland. And like Playboy Marty, this Nets team plays hard, dude. They were down their top 7 scorers and beat Milwaukee. They came back and beat the Clippers, and damn it, they played hard last night. Man, had 9-point lead in the fourth quarter on Portland, and to where they were playing old box and one, basically doubling him, getting the ball out of Lillard's hands. So what does he have to do? He pulls it from one step inside half court to hit a three to kind of reverse that trend. That's what he had to do. He's been unbelievable. He probably just edges out Booker for bubble MVP.
Yeah.
But one of the smartest decisions I've made on this show, okay? Roscoe loves his Indians. Does he not, Mincy?
Oh, he does.
Okay?
No, yeah.
So he's just going to pick the Indians every day, okay? I love my Cubbies. I don't pick them, okay? It's just kind of that deal. Probably Mincy would probably self-quarantine himself from the Rebels and handicapping them, all right? So I said, and this love for the Phoenix Suns is legit. I said, bro, you cannot pick the Suns on the show, okay? They're excluded. They go 8-0 against the spread. Wise move by me, baby. Huh?
8-0 again. Wait till I didn't realize that. Not only 8-0 against the spread as well in this bubble.
Yeah, I live with Playboy Marty and me are renting a Garden District house. I heard lots of yelling and screaming from the room over last night. He was very, very salty and rightfully so.
Well, and LeVert had, that was not a tough shot. That's a mid-range jumper. He had a clean look at the basket. He just missed it badly.
Yeah.
And the Nets, that's not a terrible shot. Marty thinks it was terrible because it didn't go down, I think. But, that's not that's a very makeable shot. Portland, dodged a serious bullet. And, man, the NBA, and I get on Silver because it took them for all of Major League Baseball's problems. My big criticism was, you can't get on the court before those guys? They beat you to the punch for like 10 days? Come on, Silver.
No.
But to get all those knuckleheads, 0 tests, the games have been good. And listen, most of these games have been meaningless and still pretty competitive.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the postseason. I really am. I thought the NBA hit it out the park in the bubble.
Yeah, so thoughts and prayers with Playboy Marty. First comes the sadness, then comes the X videos, and then you know what comes next. We hope that you're doing okay, Marty. Otto, you want to get into these picks? So my bankroll grew. I cannot figure out how to get money into my Bovada account. So I started at $2.50 last week. I am now up to $2.91. What do you got for me? We're making big money over here.
All right, the games today are probably, just run from these NBA games today. But I am going to peek ahead to the series, okay?
Okay.
And T.J. Warren, Mincy was probably third place for MVP.
That's what I was going to say in this bubble. Yeah, he went off.
Yeah, 53, 34, 32, 16, and 39. And then he's got a little 12. Do you remember that little square off during the regular season between himself and Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Butler shut him down. He really, really did. It's a bad matchup for T.J. Warren when they go against the Heat. And Butler flat out said after they squared off in that regular season game, he says, he can't get a shot off against me, and I can get my shot off against him whenever I want. I could score whenever I want. They blasted them. I think it was not Wednesday night. Early in the week. They blasted them in kind of a grudge match game. And I love the Heat in the series over the Pacers in the NBA.
Okay, and so that's a straight up pick. You're just picking the Heat to win the series over the Pacers.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
what's
That's
up next for Otta's weekend locks?
A couple of things also. The Indians, just a side note, don't like the game, but the Indians have beaten Detroit 17 straight times. And Mincy, the run line, where basically a $2 favorite turns into a pick'em game. They won the run line 15 of those 17 games. Now, Detroit's a little bit better than we think, but that's something to keep an eye out in one of the games tonight. But I'm going to the NL East. Okay. Who was picked to win the NL East? P-Bob,
my Braves.
There you go.
Losing Soroka hurt for sure, but Acuna smashing.
Who was picked to finish last in the NL East?
Miami, yeah, for sure.
Who's in first right now?
Yeah, but that's because they're using super advanced COVID strategies where they realize they can just get COVID, play less games, and then use winning percentage to win out in the end.
There you go, and so am I with this handicapping angle. Okay, Miami has been a real good team against the spread. The odds makers are giving you really nice plus prices every night. And when we talk about plus 15, 100 turns into 150 instead of just a straight up bet. But tonight they've already jumped on Miami. Got a pitching matchup, which I love as well. Mincy, who I've been riding against, the former top 5 pick out of Vanderbilt.
Kyle Wright, yeah, you've got him starred on your list of guys to go against. I've noticed it.
Yeah, and he's on the hill tonight. And look, that ERA of 6.7 is worse than it appears because the first 10 guys in that Mets game a couple of Sundays ago reached and didn't score. So that 2.1 whip is really, really high. On the other side, Lopez is one of these obscure, no-name type of pitchers who's pitching really good. Anything around a 1 or under is good. He's got 1.1 whip, but his ERA is under 2 at 1.8. This team is good, man. They are not bad, and they're at even money coming back as Wright's a slight favorite at Miami. Miami's my big pick in Major League Baseball tonight.
Who are they squaring up with?
Atlanta.
He's
going against Kyle Wright, the Vandy pitcher for Atlanta. Has been struggling.
There we go. And you got the Marlins. All right, what's next, Ada?
All right. Andy Isco comes on our show every week. He's an Ivy League grad. He's an analytics specialist. He does the logicalapproach.com and Gaming Today out of Las Vegas. Tuesday, he eyes down this game, the matchup between Houston and Seattle. Just like the Indians-Detroit series as of late, same thing. Houston has dominated, I want to say 16 of their last 18 in this one. Valdez is not a bad pitcher, but it's more of a go against, we call it fading against Kikuchi for Seattle. Seattle's lineup is weak. Houston's averaging more than a run a game. It's a big price, and Mincy knows I don't like to do this often, but I'm just relaying this guy. I mean, we ask him for picks. He gives us 4 days in advance. I think it's worth the shot. I know it's laying a big price at $2. Houston is still a public team. Seattle is not. If you're going against Seattle, you're laying a big price. But I'm just going to ride him on this angle going into tonight. the run line, you could shave it down, lay 1.5. That's an option, although home teams, I don't like to do the run line because you give up that bottom of the ninth. So anyway, the Astros in tonight's game at home against Seattle.
Okay, so far we have Heat over Pacers in the series. We have Marlins over Atlanta tonight, and you got Astros over Mariners tonight. Any more for the weekend?
No, there we
go.
It. That's it. I do a couple of the Saints announced this week that they're not going to have fans at the opener against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I looked up the line, the updated line. It was 5.5. What do you think, Mincy? What do you think? No fans now. It's probably taken into account a little bit already that it might be compromised, the home field advantage when they put these numbers out. But Mincy, what do you think it went to?
Man, I don't think my guess is they didn't move it as much as people think.
I'm saying 2.5.
I don't think they moved it. I'm gonna say if it was 5.5, it's like 4.5.
I think they bumped it a full field goal.
It went from it's 3.5.
Right,
okay.
of course.
There you go. Yeah.
Stuck in the middle.
Yeah, there we go.
Stuck in
So
the
split the difference.
There you go. There you go.
So don't field advantage is worth 2 points in their eyes. Otter, how about this little fun fact? The Pelicans 7-0'd the two teams in the Western Conference playoffs during the regular season. They 4-0'd the Blazers and then 3-0'd Memphis as well. Alvin Gentry.
And I'm watching, and man, Will Wade said it when he first took the podium at the student union. He says, we're going to play defense. Well, he says defense is, 75% effort. I was talking to my dad the other day. My dad averaged over 30 points a game in high school, okay? I mean, he's like, anybody can be average defensively with just work. I mean, and to watch the Pelicans play and then see these scrubs for the Nets every game giving people hell.
Yeah.
Man, that's where, like, come on, man. I mean, and then I love how they're going to rest Zion now, man. Get that son of a gun in shape, man. I mean, run his behind up and down the court. Man, everything's first rate, but there's just no it's the defense is not prioritized. There's no accountability for not giving out effort on defense. I know the NBA during the regular season is not a defensive intensity league. That's why I love the playoffs. Completely different game.
Fair.
No sport changes more from regular season to postseason like it does in the NBA.
Huh.
But damn it, man. I mean, do you see these? They're playing with the G League team for the Nets and playing hard every night.
Well, it's like even last night, the Pelicans product was almost better without all the superstars because at least those backups were laying it all on the line. Like the effort wasn't the issue last night. They're just not actually that good, unfortunately. Otter, okay, real quick.
What we see in real quick too is validation. And Mincy and I both have the theory. Who's not ball hogging the ball with the Nets right now and stopping the ball movement?
Oh, Kyrie?
Yeah.
Kyrie's a great individual player, but he's a coach killer, man.
I mean, Kyrie post LeBron has kind of been a disaster.
He's just one of those guys that stops the ball, and we saw it with the Celtics. I mean, the Celtics he just neutralizes Brad Stevens when he was there. Brad Stevens before got him to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Now they're doing well again. He just got a contract extension. I mean, he's kind of a coach killer, and it's a shame because he is a talent.
Wait, what do y'all think? What do y'all think in that Western Conference playoff? You think Portland takes care of business and just and knocks them off 1-0?
They got to beat him. Portland's got to win twice, right?
No, Portland actually ended up winning the AC, which is
odd.
Yeah, because they played less games, so they have the winning percentage thing. Okay, so you like Portland there. So what about that Lakers-Portland 1-8 matchup? That's pretty fascinating, given what Dame's doing right now.
Portland is a 7-point favorite for Saturday, by the way.
Okay.
That's a little inflated because they've been much better against the spread than Memphis has. So they're anticipating some public action that probably should be about 5 or so. And they should take care of business. They've been way better. And, they got their big guy back in Nurkic. And we thought they might be better, and they have been. But the best thing about the bubble is it's just not a formality with these playoffs to a Bucks-Lakers final. No way. Both of these teams have shown that they are vulnerable. And listen, I know the Lakers, man, you play a much easier 8th seed than the Portland Trailblazers right now. No doubt.
Yeah, you absolutely could. Jimmy Ott, Game Time with Jimmy on every single night, 6 to 8 with him and Benny Mintz. If you're into gambling talk and just sports in general, obviously they got your picks each and every night. He gave you 3 picks for this weekend. Take the Heat to beat the Pacers in their series. Take the Marlins over the Braves tonight, and take the Astros over the Mariners. Otter, thank you so much, man.
Go on the road today, boy. Go on the Natchez.
Oh, man,
Busy,
listen.
baby.
You can hear it in their voice. Y'all are going to y'all's happy place?
Yeah, we've got we also the house party that Ott and I ended up at last fall. No, my friends, we're going to dinner with them tonight too. At Regina's after, so
let's
it's gonna be fun.
go, dude. Let's go. A legendary pairing, indeed. All right, Otter, take it easy, man. Good luck in the dock.
Bob, you're the best. Take care.
You're the best. Mwah, 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 mwah. All right, when we get back, NFL talk. Let's dive into it. OTB,
Yes. OTB, OT.
The AL East leading New York Yankees face off again against their longtime rival, the Boston Red Sox.
Coverage begins Saturday afternoon at 5:30 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Yo, join us for a TGIF edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny, presented by Richards Honda from noon to 3. We welcome back onto the show former LSU All-American Craig Steltz on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Captain Stars and Stripes. Tarantula Man. It sounds like a knockoff Marvel theme here. Welcome back, OTBOT. Ben Mintz, Danny Cardenas, Matthew Musso, T-Bob Hebert, all hanging out with you right now. I want to talk some NFL as Saints camp is underway, Ben. And I don't know about you, but one of the most exciting aspects of this entire Saints team is what can the connection between Jared Cook and Drew Brees be here in year 2? Because if you look...
it blew up the second half of the year.
Dude,
Cook
you look...
was great.
Post-bye, I want to say he put up like 800 yards or something, or 700 yards. So and you make it look, Brees was injured at the beginning. Cook was injured as well. Cook talked about it yesterday, saying that they really need that bye week. Okay, we got to make a push here. It looks like they are ready to make that push. They were talking on it yesterday. The Jared Cook hype train continues to roll on. They're talking about how the connection was already established last year, and they've carried it over this year. They just got to make sure they hit the ground running. All of these things that really we've talked about before. But it was another quote that Jared Cook had been that speaks to me on just how incredible Drew Brees has become, how singular in his abilities he's become. And you know, you look at like some of our favorite pop culture moments, right? Or pop culture series. And you have this archetype of like the wizard, right? The wise man, the guy who knows it all. He's seen it all. That is Drew Brees in the NFL right now. It is like the final scene in The Matrix, when Neo finally sees the Matrix for what it is. He realizes it's all just a computer program. He can then use it. He can control. He can do whatever he wants within the Matrix because he fully sees it and understands it, right? It's like Gandalf the White when he comes back from fighting the Balrog and he's just raised his power level to the next level. He's your Obi-Wan Kenobi stereotype. I mean, he's seen it all. He can do it all. And here's what Jared Cook had to say, quote, "He's seen every single defense that you can play in this league multiple times over and understands how to beat it. So whenever our defense gets to talking or when they script read, we know that Drew is going to be able to get to the right checks and understand what the pressure, what the defense is trying to give us, and be able to check out of that." And then here's the part where I pay attention. "So the wisdom and how you play the game, something that can never be coached. And I think that's one of the things you get with Drew. And I will gladly take that any day, because a lot of times you go get a young guy behind center that doesn't necessarily have this or understand what it takes. That's when the danger comes. And you never want to feel like you're being put in danger. So I will take Drew any day, any day. I am a firm Drew stan, Ben, in terms of where I rank him. I think he is easily a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. The Athletic did an article where they got 50 NFL coaches and scouts to vote on who they believe the best quarterbacks are in this tiered system. Where would you put Drew Brees in terms of where he ranks among NFL quarterbacks right now?
5 to 7.
Wow. Okay.
Top
So
five, right at the edge of top five.
So who's your top 4? Who's beating out Brees?
Okay, my top 4 as of right now. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is number 1. I mean,
obviously, y'all are brothers.
We all know the truth. There.
Yeah,
We know that. I've never seen anybody that can do.
Y'all are from the same seed.
Yeah, I think he got the right arm genes though. I'll go Russell Wilson number 2, because what he does without help a lot. You know, he has to do so much street ball stuff. You know, now that he's finally got some weapons, I mean, I think DK Metcalf emerging is going to be a huge thing for him. But just he does so much for them. He carries that offense on his back. I'll say it's hard to rank Lamar with like the pro style guys because his thing's so different.
Yeah.
But I'd put him at 3.
Okay.
Right now, just for the skill. The problem with Lamar, I don't know if he can stay healthy long term, because I think that's the big issue. But as far as like right now, I'd say him at 3. Might put Brees at 4.
Who's at 4?
I got Breeze ahead of Brady right now for sure.
Yeah.
And I got Breeze ahead of Rodgers, just like I know you discussed that a lot.
Yeah.
No,
People are probably sick of me yelling about Aaron
Breeze
Rodgers.
I've got Breeze ahead of Rodgers. Okay, I'll say 4.
Okay, well, actually, that's I would say that. And then who would you put at 5, just for fun, because I want to see where you land in relation to all these NFL coaches.
Okay, let me see. Who would I put at number 5? At number 5 here. I mean, I'm gonna put, even though he's gonna be ranked worse overall, I'll put Brady at 5. I think Brady and Marion is gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna be really good.
Look, man, you're pretty damn. You are almost exactly what these NFL coaches landed on in voting. First off, as we've said multiple times, any list that doesn't begin Mahomes Wilson or Wilson Mahomes, like whatever order you want there, I don't really care. Any list that doesn't begin there, I think is wrong. And it looks like these NFL coaches agree. They were the only 2 players, all 50 votes. They got tier 1 for all 50 votes. Unanimous tier 1 decisions. The only one that's Mahomes and Wilson checking in at number 3. And this flies in the face of everything that I say. It shows that the NFL coaches and his peers still just respect the hell out of him. Aaron Rodgers checks in at 3. He had 46 tier 1 votes compared to only 4 that put him in tier 2. And then you get to Drew Brees at 4. But there was a little shade thrown Brees way. And there's so many juicy quotes in here. I wish that you could I wish that I could find out who actually said this. I wonder if it's a coach that he gets to play every year. But here's what an anonymous NFL defensive coordinator had to say about Brees. He says, I gave him a 2, and he's talking about where he voted, right? The second tier. He said, I gave him a 2, but I really want to give him a 3. I think the system helps him. I don't think he can throw the ball outside the numbers unless it's 5 yards or less. He can throw an over out of play action, but he doesn't sit back there and hold the ball. I gave him a 2 because he knows the offense, but I'm not scared of him. Oh, my God, dude. Imagine you saying you're not scared of Drew Brees. What defenses did good against him last season? What defensive coach could claim that? The Vikings, maybe?
Yeah, and but that was because they beat him at the line of scrimmage.
Potentially
the Rams.
That's
the kryptonite is, beating Brees up the middle, the interior line.
Yeah, either way, dude, be careful, whoever you are, going after Brees. But Brees checks in at 4, and then Deshaun Watson.
Oh, yeah, I had him at 6.
Was actually voted at 5, and then Brady at 6. So you were nearly spot on, Ben, in terms of what the rest of the league thinks. Some other funny quotes that came out of this. And here's an interesting angle that I don't know that we considered. This is from another defensive coordinator. These top quarterbacks, like a Brees, Stafford, Roethlisberger, they come back from injuries perfectly spry and healthy. You are dealing with masters of the position. Ben goes out there in the first few weeks this year. They will be playing against defenses with no preseason games. And these guys, especially if they have a veteran receiving core, they are used to, which I would say the Saints have, right?
Oh,
Mike
yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You're now on the same page with Jared Cook. You got Alvin Kamara.
Emmanuel
Sanders
is
is new,
but he's a veteran.
He's new,
Yeah.
but he's a veteran, and he doesn't. It's not like he has to be the guy, right? He's just kind of like sugar on top of the sundae. So they mentioned, especially if they have a veteran receiving core they are used to, their skills become amplified. And this is where the coach really doubles down on not having preseason. These defenses will have no ability to disguise their coverage, to work against the play clock, to really get into game situations where they can fool with the quarterback. This can be a little bit like sheep to wolves. These tier 1 quarterbacks playing against these virus defenses.
Ooh.
Ben, I know. That's what I'm saying. So
Good angle gambling.
Right? That's what I was going to
Overs.
say. That's what I was going to say. You are a gambling guy. When you hear a defensive coordinator lay that out, believing that he thinks that these tier 1 quarterbacks are going to carve up these preseason list defenses, does that make you kind of want to put that into your decision-making at all?
Well, yeah, it kind of carries over on something we've been talking about a lot, is just the continuity is going to be so important with the off-seasons not really having them. And the preseason and the veteran tier 1 quarterbacks are the model of continuity. And so, of course, they've got huge advantages. I like that angle. I do like that.
So we'll see how that affects. One coach just said that Brady knew the coverage. Tom Brady knew coverages on every play. So this is a quote about Jared Goff, but there's this line in there. Remember when New England was stealing the hand signals, telling Brady the coverage on every play, and he was just killing it for his first 5 or 6 years? So this coach is out here acting like it's just common knowledge in NFL circles that the Patriots had people's hand signals so down that for the first 6 years of his career, Brady knew the exact coverages that he was getting before the play. They were telling him in his ear set.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty beastly.
Yeah.
Is that wrong? Is it wrong to steal hand signals?
I mean, I always think that when you're doing anything at the highest level in the world, people are going to find every edge they got.
That's fair.
I mean, I just think that that's just life, man.
I also think, look, I think there's a difference in like filming practice.
Yeah.
And like walkthroughs and stuff. And then look, you're doing your hand signals on the sideline in a public setting.
Yeah.
If your hand signals are, if they are easy enough to decipher, like that's a part of the strategy.
Didn't change them.
That's a part of the strategy is learning how to make sure that people can't do that to you. But it just, it made me think a lot about the kind of situation you land in and how much that could potentially propel your career forward. Because remember, at that point in his career, Tom Brady was still obsessive. He still is Tom Brady. He was still amazing. But he wasn't, like we said, he hadn't reached like Gandalf or Neo status like he has now. And like, what if he was in a bad situation where coaches weren't putting him in a great position to succeed? Just never know what would have been happening.
Patrick Mahomes is a great example, landed with Andy Reid and KC there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Or like, and like Matt Stafford's on the opposite side of that. Right? What if Matt Stafford had not been in the Detroit Lions organization this whole time? Like, could he be really good? I mean, he's had joke coaches pretty much what feels like his entire NFL career. And Matt Patricia doesn't seem any better. Have you seen all this stuff that Darius Slay's been saying since he left? It sounds like Matt Patricia basically tried to act like Bill Belichick, but without any of the accomplishments of Bill Belichick. Like, that message is not going to resonate with your team. Final quote here that I thought was interesting. This comes from you mentioned Pat Mahomes. This is for all you Bears fans out there. So Mitch Trubisky started quite a few games. They looked at quarterbacks with at least 32 starts over the last 3 seasons. The Bears have scored 17 or more points in only 57% of Mitch Trubisky's starts. So nearly a coin flip of the time walking into a Bears game, if Trubisky is starting, you can expect them to score 16 or less. This is second to last out of 23 quarterbacks that qualify within the time. Do you know who the only one who's worst is? Who's worse? Derek Carr.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Gruden, I mean, it didn't already seem like he's high on Carr, but Derek Carr even worse than maybe I'd realize. Who leads the way in this regard? Pat Mahomes. His teams have scored 17 or more in 97% of his starts.
And they call off the dogs in the second half all the time, too. They get up 3-4 touchdowns, they just freeze it. I mean, he could have scored even more.
So that's a little NFL talk. Give you an idea of what the NFL coaches think about the quarterback position. Drew Brees remaining tier 1. They're still super high on Aaron Rodgers, though. So I'm very intrigued to see this year who will be proven right. Will I or will these NFL coaches? All right, when we get back, I'm going to wrap up. Marshawn Lattimore, send you into the weekend. RIP Huddle here on OTBOT.
OTB OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
$10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, Know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At Cornell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a new Highlander for $4,000 off MSRP. Yes, $4,000 off MSRP, and we have many in stock.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We'll get you an update from Saints practice, and we continue to piece together what a college football season is going to look like in the fall. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back. OTB, OT. The final segment here on this Friday, meaning it is the final segment of Off the Bench with the Huddle. And as I said, earlier, on the whole, I have very positive memories from everybody in the Huddle. Thank you to everybody who gets involved in the show every single day and gives us interesting comments to kind of jump off of or consider things from angles that we hadn't considered previously. Even the ones who talk trash, a lot of times, no matter how trolly the trash talk is, there's normally like a kernel of truth there. There's something to be learned, something you can improve upon. So, yes, even you, the person that gets in there every day and yells at me about stuttering, I even thank you.
Always thank the haters, T-Bob. Yeah, always thank the haters.
Got to. But, yeah, it is kind of crazy. I mean, through the years, I've been here over 3 years now, and the Huddle's been here the entire time. And it is wild. And look, and I got to know a lot of y'all through the Tin Roof drinking days we used to do back in the day, and those were awesome. And I feel like some of you that I've never met in person, I feel like I know you because we sit here and we talk every single day on the app. So that's been cool. If you want to continue talking, YouTube chat will be the place for now. I want to be clear, there will be an app, though, where you can still listen. So you don't have to listen on YouTube. That's just if you want to. That avenue is open for you. And I think and I think it's, wow, okay, yeah, see, there's someone's talking about filleting me in the Huddle. And while I've been with my wife since I'm 16, so I'm not sure that happened. There's been some nights where I don't remember things. But either way, that's the kind of golden content that we are no longer going to have with the Huddle. So shout out to everybody, man. Y'all are awesome. And yeah, you will be missed. But, bigger and brighter things, it's okay. It's okay. The YouTube chat's going to be super fun. And who knows, maybe a little less toxic. It just got a little toxic here at the end. But that's the end does not overwhelm all of the good throughout the years. Ben, so I want to talk about Marshawn Lattimore. I'm going to have to speed this up a little bit. Nick Underhill's back at again. New Orleans Up football. how Marshawn Lattimore could put his name near the top of everyone's cornerback ratings. He believes he could be a top 5 corner. Here, how about this? Last year, so he shadowed DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Cooper, Mike Evans, Allen Robinson, and A.J. Brown. That's a pretty damn good group of receivers there, right?
Yeah, he shut down A.J. Brown.
He held them to a combined, all those players that combined 11 catches on 21 targets for 143 and a TD. Then he would go and he gave up 152 against Seahawks, 142 against the Rams. Besides that, he was talking about, what do you think is holding back Marshawn Lattimore from being in the same conversation as a Stephon Gilmore?
Well, the thing he has done is that, the Saints drafting him to counter Julio Jones and Mike Evans in this division, these premier number 1 wide receivers. And you got to think that was a huge part of them drafting him. And, man, he does incredible jobs against those guys. Maybe he's not 100% motivated every single week, possibly.
It's funny you say that because that's what Mike Thomas
media
says.
And he throws down. I think he enjoys himself in the offseason. And so, we've seen the Saints week 1 struggles.
Yeah.
I've seen maybe it takes Lattimore till week 3 or 4 sometimes to
Yeah,
get ready.
And you mentioned the focus thing. Now, Mike Thomas didn't say this from a party angle, but essentially Mike Thomas said the same thing about Lattimore that Derek Stingley Sr. has said about Derek Stingley Jr., and that, he is already so elite, so good in so many ways, that the one thing he needs to work on is just locking it in against the lesser opponents, because he gets up for primetime. He gets up for the big boys, but sometimes he can kind of lose focus against the lesser guys. Also, the bottom line is he's just got to get the pick number up, right? Maybe it's not the fairest way to judge cornerbacks, because like I said, he shut down all those great guys, but he only had 1 pick. And if you want to be in the elite conversation, you got to get more than that. If I was to have you score, or I went back in the stats last night. I tried to score Mike Evans, Marshawn Lattimore going into this year because I can't wait for that matchup again. I currently have it 4-2 Lattimore. Let's see if Mike Evans can get around back now that he's got Tom Brady. And, we are now officially less than a month away from Brady Braves in the Dome.
Oh, man.
Huge thank you to Matthew Musso. Huge thank you to Danny Cardenas, Ben Mintz, and huge thank you to all the huddlers. We'll see y'all later.
OTB, OT.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.